Alright, hello. This is the unofficial beginning of Burning Wheel Session 12, episode 12, otherwise known as Suicide Squad Part 6. And we're starting off by getting Boniface's enchanting out of the way, in a ways, just getting that settled before we continue on with the story. Of course, this will be going into the past, to the future a little bit, going across the 2 months without, keeping in mind that we're going to have to backtrack and then remember to make time for the time you did enchanting. Even if something big comes up, you got to remember that you spent this time on enchanting. So, this is all, basically whatever free time Boniface has is what he's devoting this enchanting to. So, I have the list of stuff that you had asked for. The tongue of a liar, left hand of a convicted theft, the bowed screams of a tortured soul, with marks of torture, and the blood of a wretch. So, enchanting. It takes about close to the end of the week before Boniface, is meeting again with that dwarf who had written down his orders. The dwarf is joined by a few more, as seems like a royal guard almost, and they hold a crate in between them, and he asks you to, if they could meet in your room in private in order to sort out what they have collected, since it's best not to do this in public.
I agree. Just be careful with it.
The dwarves carefully make their way through the church into your private bedroom before dropping it on the ground, nice and slow. The two dwarves carrying it exit, but what's his face? Urest, the recorder, stays behind, and slowly, he pulls open the lid, and you see, and it is it's full of, straw and stuff, but on the topmost part of it, you see 3 items in jars. One is what you can tell to be a preserved tongue that looks fresh still and moist, and it seems to be, the end of it has been matted down with some kind of cloth to keep the blood from coming out all the way. Another jar you see is also a fresh looking hand that's seemed to have been recently severed. It's also been covered at the nub to keep it from bleeding out, and it's a you can tell that this hand is not of a man. It's very slender and kind of small, on the small size.
Like a child's hand?
Not so much a child, but maybe a young woman's hand.
Oh.
It's kind of hard to tell. It's a severed hand after all. And then the final jar you see is completely just filled to the brim with dark blood.
Well, I suppose this is everything I need.
Ira says, we're working out the matter of finding someone to sufficiently get the tortured screams out of your body. It's not something that people go around professing their profession in, so it's taking some time to find somebody of the right qualities. But
I understand.
we'll keep working diligently on it.
Yeah. Try and find someone who's good at keeping me alive, please.
That's part of the reason why it's taking a long time. Many of the people who do profess to be good at it seem to be a little overeager.
Well, I appreciate your thoroughness.
And the mother has dwarven blacksmiths on standby whenever you are ready for this. She'll make sure they are open 24/7. You'll find there's if you come to the mansion and speak your name, we'll take you to where they are being prepared.
Just a quick out of character question. I forget, what is it that everybody asks for? I know Lucius asked for a cane to help him torture.
Yes, and Serveus asked for an amulet that will help him lie.
Oh,
Like
that
one of
was
you.
what the tongue was for.
Yes, and Dolan wished for something for a ring maybe to help him thieve, like a sleight of hand kind of thing.
Mm.
That was what for the convicted thief.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the screams.
The screams I think the screams are for the staff. I needed them for the torturing staff.
Oh right,
And then the blood is for a weapon.
right, right. Okay, gotcha. So basically, you have the what you call it? What's that word they used in here? The trait thing, enchanting. The antecedent.
Yeah. The catalyst from which the power will
Yep.
travel through.
I think you still have to extract it using a skill, but you have something to extract it
Yeah, I
from,
do.
basically.
I do have the skill for extracting. Honestly, can we pause it for 1 second?
Yes,
Just,
just to get through the.
yeah. Well, I was.
Unpause.
Yes.
Alright.
Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, I did summoning completely wrong. I read a completely different thing from what's in the magic burner, and just had to move some things around a bit, get it all worked out.
Nothing going to change in the story much besides now Mr. Boniface has a workshop in his room. His room is basically a workshop plus bed. So just that's what's adding to the story that you guys need to worry about. So you got a workshop. So, our antecedent is what we have. Let's call this.
Right.
Okay, so well before we get started, dwarves, Urest specifically will offer you saying that they have, if you're interested, set up a small like room for you to set up your shop in nearby the dwarven blacksmiths to make the process a little smoother. Since you guys will be right next door, it'll be housed within the mansion itself, though.
Sure, that sounds okay. Would I have to move these, or would you guys take care of it for me?
Well, he says that they'll get it all set up for you, have it taken care of within the end of the day.
Well, once our arrangement is done and I've made all the objects that my fellow groupmates have requested, you'll move it back to my home?
Urest kind of strokes his long white beard, and he says, if that is what you desire, though, depending on how this plays out, the mother might have a future interest in your skills. You would be paid handsomely if you were to work for her. That is, of course, if you can prove yourself. If you're interested.
I forget, what's this dwarf's name?
Urest.
Eurus.
The older dwarf with the
Yeah, I remember.
glasses.
His job is he's a record keeper.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to prove yourself, Urs?
Well, I'm no enchanter, so it took me quite a ways to show that I'm different than the common dwarf.
Oh. Well, I hope.
She likes different, and
Oh.
enchanters are different.
Oh, yeah, I guess I am a little different from most people. By the way, this blood, where did you get it?
From the same person we received that hand from. It seemed a simple process.
Well,
Extract the hand, extract the blood.
I don't know if you know my definition of wretch. I was actually going to bleed myself for this. A wretch is someone who's done something terrible and is trying to make amends for it.
Yes, we are aware of its definition. The mother found it too risky to involve your blood loss. We found a person appropriate enough to have both the required traits that you seek.
Well, I still don't know how I feel about that. That's...
As you
I'll
say,
be-
it was someone who deserved it. You need not fret.
Deserved it, but they were trying to make amends.
Yes, well, didn't end well for them. Sometimes the best laid intentions do not lead to the best laid reactions.
Well, I understand that.
I can give you the details if you wish, though it's quite a gruesome story. I would suggest you be spared from it.
hairstyle like you, but I don't know if I agree with your methods or how things are done within your family.
Oh, they're not the same methods as I would condone. I'm just simply the record keeper.
Yeah, and I'm sure you have a pretty grisly record right there.
From time to time.
Alright, well, let's get this started.
Oh, you notice the tongue is like kind of like the hand of the young woman. The tongue's also different than like an average person's tongue. It's rather large and like purple in color, like inhuman.
I'm just gonna take a guess here. Fork tongue?
Yes, good eye. They're known to be the best of liars.
Yeah.
And now I kind of wish I did ask. I don't want to touch it. All right, so by the end of the day, the dwarves have moved the majority of your workshop equipment to the inside of their mansion. It's your first visit to the mansion itself, probably even your first visit to the underground section of the kingdom where most of the dwarves and degenerates live. So you're met with a bunch of new sights of the underground part of the kingdom, the coolness of it, the coolness is in like the cool air of it. The general dark murkiness is like a cave. There's shambles, like it's nothing like above ground where there's splendid homes everywhere. There's just like where not just the dwarves but the poor people tend to live with all the shanty homes you see. Everything except for the mansion, of course, of the family, which is large and grandiose and just amazing. There's banners of all colors inside. There's paintings and architecture and artifacts just strewn about the place. And you are led, kind of down a ways, past some stairs, down like a hallway that leads down into the ground below the mansion, where you're led into a series of hallways and rooms, and you can't really tell one from another, but you're led through a series of passageways to a room that seems to be newly packed with your workshop. And you see there's another door off to the side. You see like fire, like the globe of a fire from the room next door. And you can hear the sounds of like metal working and stuff. We can assume is where the dwarves have set up their small blacksmith shop next to your enchanting workshop. It's very dark down here, even with the candles lit. There's not much light. There's no windows or anything. You imagine you're pretty far in underground below the mansion where you've been set up to work, and there's been dwarves that are stationed outside your door as like guards almost.
And Ernst has left me.
Yes. Unless you had anything more to say to him. He leads you there, but
Well, I just wanted to say, can you see in this darkness?
not as well as some other creatures, but we dwarves are accustomed to the underground. As long as there's some form of light, we can see pretty well down here. Are you having trouble?
Tad bit.
We can have more lanterns or candles sent down here if you wish.
Honestly, yes, it'd probably be for the best. I wouldn't want to accidentally spoil some of these ingredients.
Oh, I understand. We'll have some of our men sent down here soon.
Alright, well, I guess this is goodbye.
Until we meet again. I'm sure we will.
It's been pleasant. Oh, but before you go, one last question. Wouldn't the woman of the house much prefer a dwarven enchanter to me?
That's what is unique about you. There are no dwarven enchanters. Surely this whole nature of enchanting is very new to our ears. We've never heard of such a thing before arriving at this kingdom, and frankly, until just a few days ago when you announced that you were an enchanter. We've been doing some heavy research into the subject since then, but our own records don't hold much information about.
I mean, not to sell myself short, but I'm not exactly a professional, but I do dabble. I just feel it's very weird, I thought, I'm not saying I'd be accepted into the family, but I thought you, not to be offensive, you were a xenophobic folk.
We do see the qualities of the other races, though the mother has strong ties with our dwarven people. She's not blind to the qualities of the other races. If you were to accept her offer, you won't be an official member of her family, but you would be a benefactor from their wealth and from their power, nonetheless.
Oh, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I have
Yes.
work to do.
Well, I'll leave you to it. I'll have people sent here for more light in a short time.
I appreciate it.
And he leaves you with your disgusting ingredients in your dark, dimly lit room.
I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Really, it's very quiet in here, aside from the rare sounds of metalworking and stuff coming from the next room. Even that's really like subdued and quiet. But eventually, dwarves, if you just wait around, dwarves soon come by and provide you with a few more lanterns and candles and set up in the darker spaces where I'm sure you would indicate. And before long, this place is still, on the darker side, not as brightly lit as if like sun was coming in, but you can see everything now more clearly.
Well, idle hands and all that. So first I have to extract what are they called? I'm sorry.
The antecedent.
Antecedent.
And I found out the obstacle is based on how many points it costs to get the trait in the first place. So, what do you wish to work on first? You have the tongue, the hand, and the blood.
I will go with the tongue first.
Tongue will be an obstacle 2 to extract the trait.
Yeah, are these open-ended or?
I would say that this part of it isn't open-ended because it's based on alchemy. Whenever you get to the actual enchanting, it'll be open-ended, but since it's alchemy, we'll say it is not.
I have failed.
Do you have...
oh, wait.
Did you fork or anything?
Well, I don't know what you can fork with alchemy. I didn't think about it.
Did you get any successes?
I gained 1 success, but I don't know if I have anything that could fork with alchemy.
Well, list me your skills, and if you can
Calligraphy?
think of anything.
Doctrine, writing, reading, symbology, research, and enchanting. None of those really
Well,
stick out to me, at least.
we have to get some more. What did you work on first?
It was the tongue.
Gotta get some more tongues. I would say you can.
So I just opened the door. First, I messed up.
I need another tongue. Did you happen to roll any sixes, by the by?
No, it was 2
Okay.
3s and a 5.
So I might say it was open-ended since, reasons. I'll give you a pity dice and say enchanting can be forked into this because it is part of the enchanting
Sure.
process.
Pity dice. Three threes. Jesus Christ, this tongue
Yeah, this tongue is it's not something you're used to working with. This weird purple infestuous thing is not work to your purposes. The tongue just becomes useless to you, and you aren't able to extract the trait from it.
Well, before I inform the dwarves that I fucked up, let's just move on to the other stuff.
What are you gonna do for next?
I will use try to extract the hand, I guess.
Obstacle 2.
Obstacle 2. Alright.
Again, don't forget to fork in enchanting.
Alright, 2 successes.
Okay, you successfully. I wish you would tell me more specifically how the process goes about. Like, I don't know how to role play and extracting a trait from a thing. Like,
Well, I mean,
just like a glowing little.
I guess you could do it like that. Maybe I just kind of break it down to its most base components, and then kind of I'm almost melt the finger down or the hand down with acid and bases and.
I mean, I can leave it because you're doing alchemy, so I can leave it to you to role play it because I have no clue. So I'll give it the reins to you to role play how you extract its trait.
Well, let me say how I fucked up the tongue first.
Okay, go for it.
Right. Well, I was slowly trying to de-skin, I guess, the tongue, like kind of leave it with its the bare tongue muscle. And when I was doing that, I accidentally sliced too deep and cut straight through, and I needed it as a whole piece.
Yeah.
So it became worthless. And
The hand.
I slowly dipped into various concoctions, slowly dissolving it a layer at a time. And I've basically ended up with this pool of a mix of melted bone, tendons, and blood. And
Just have it like in a little vial or something.
like like a beaker of like a bloody, messy, like
Yum.
hand that has been turned into a liquid form.
All right. That
And,
sounds good.
and basically, what's going to happen during the forging process of the ring is it's going to be slowly like you know how when you're forging something and it's really hot, they dip it in like water to cool it down.
Right.
Basically, this is going to be what's used
Oh, like to dip in the hot part.
to cool it.
Gotcha. All right. Then last is the blood, which is obstacle 1.
All right. Wait, what was I gonna do with the blood exactly? I know I was gonna put it in a weapon, but like, do I need to say what exact thing I'm trying to get from it?
Yeah, it says that you need to do that because each antidote is for a specific need, so you can't use the one antidote for 2 different things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the point of this one was to
Imbue, like, isn't it to like affect a weapon?
yeah, it's to affect a weapon. I was going to give whoever's wielding the weapon a like we were talking about it. It's like so it does more damage.
Right. I'm sure once we get into like, once we have to decide like what enchantments you can pick from. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
there's weapon enchantments and stuff. You can just
Alright.
say like what you want to do with it.
Alright,
That's
well, I was
enough.
just gonna do a weapon enchantment for non non humans. It would
It would hurt non-humans more.
yeah.
I gotcha. All right. Well, obstacle 1 to extract the trait.
All right, 3 successes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now you're rolling 3 dice. So let's see if you can have a choice between what test you take from this. Because you get to pick one test. So you're going against 3 on 2. Oh no, they're all routine tests.
Alright.
So you get a routine test for your alchemy.
Alchemy. Well, I need to bump from 3 to 4.
3 to 4. You need 3 routines and either 2 difficult or 1 challenging.
Alright.
Got 1 routine down so far. Unless you did something else that I don't remember.
No, just
All right.
just
Well,
cut some shit up and try to break it down.
so how'd you extract blood?
I poured it into a separate container and heated it slowly on a low flame to try and kind of separate the different contents of the blood.
Yeah.
And I distilled it into 3 different beakers, like the plasma, the oxygenated blood cells, and the deoxygenated blood cells. I'm actually not a biology person, so I just the blood distilled into 3 separate kinds.
You're like, oh, that looks good.
3 separate pieces of blood.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
during different stages of the forging, the weapon is going to be kind of like soaked in these.
Gotcha. All right, so now we move on to the actual enchanting portion, and the obstacles for each of the enchantments is based on. Well, do you want to? I guess now you want to take a break from your process and call out to one of the guard dwarves saying, I'm gonna need something else if I want to do this enchantment."
Yeah.
Basically, well, we can wait. I honestly want to wait and see how long it takes you because, basically, your time limit is
A few weeks.
a few weeks now because it's been a week. It's like it was about 2 months the day that you guys all got set up. So it's been about a week since then. So you have about like 7 weeks to get these enchantments done.
Alright, yeah. I poked my hand out to the door to one of the guard dwarves. Like, excuse me, sir. There was a small mishap. I require another liar's tongue.
The dwarves look between each other, and before one just kind of saunters off in the direction you assume out. The other one doesn't acknowledge you, but turns back to face like outward.
Thank you. Close the door. Open the door. Oh yeah, and I'm almost got most of the ingredients ready. So soon I'll be requiring the presence of the blacksmiths who will be making these objects.
Dwarf kind of turns, doesn't look at you directly, but kind of turns his head in your direction and says, "The blacksmiths are in the room next door to yours. Just speak with them when you're ready. They're
Alright, I
waiting
just
for
wasn't
you."
sure if I was allowed to leave. You guys are guarding my room and all that.
We're guarding people from entering a room. You're free to leave whenever you wish.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. So you go back inside?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, basically you're working with the hand and the blood. What do you wish to try and make an enchantment with first?
I'll try it with the blood first.
Okay. So, basically you have a bunch of little things we have to go through before we decide the...
yeah. Well, instead of the better damage against humans, I'd like to kind of go back to that balance thing and make it more like
I can give you a list of the weapon enchantments if you want to
yeah, sure.
help with your decision. There's increase versus armor. There's increase weapon power. There's modify weapon speed. Reduce add. Modify weapon length.
What's add?
Add is like how much it takes to like how many extra successes you need to bump up the damage. So like if it's add 2, you need 2 successes over the obstacle in order to bump up the damage. You're trying to hit with something.
Let's do wait, so there's add, weapon skill, and what?
Increase versus armor. Increase the power of the weapon, and increase and modify the weapon length.
What's the power of the weapon do?
Power just makes it stronger. You know, increases. It basically increases all this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like
If you
to
make it high enough.
Yeah, I'd like to increase the power, but I'd like to add a stipulation because of the whole good intent thing. It has to it only works against people who are it's obvious they're trying to harm you.
Right.
The weapon activates in self-defense.
So it only gets this power. Yeah, that's the stuff we have to get to eventually. Let's go step by step.
Yeah.
First is the vessel and name. The enchantment is designed for a specialized item like a sword or shield, and that item must be created and infused with the antidote during the enchantment. Proper skills, materials, and tools are required to create this vessel. They can be part of the enchanter's repertoire or be accessed via help. If the item in question is just a simple trinket or bauble, no additional craft or materials are required. A successful created vessel is formed explicitly for the enchanting process, and given a unique name gives the enchanter +1 to his enchanting roll. So you can give it a name, and then and the dwarves have to successfully craft this thing.
Right. The pacifist pilgrim's sword.
Pacifist pilgrim sword. Yeah, write it down on your thing though. Keep track of it. It's technically yours until you hand it over to somebody. So it's. And I also got to make sure the dwarves don't screw up making this thing.
That's on them.
Yeah, let me pause this real quick. Pause. So, I'm assuming at this point in the story you're going over to that adjoined room and telling them that, hey, guys, get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing in your adjoined room? There's 3 dwarves working. They have that, the basic blacksmith equipment like a furnace and an anvil, and they have all their necessary tools. And they're gonna get started on making you a sword. Let's see how good they do. There's gonna be a main guy and there's 2 helpers, so he gets 2 bonus dice. The main helper guy is gonna have blacksmithing of 6 and let's see appropriate forks real quick, because they're gonna go all out. Oh, I can just go straight into manufacturing weapons of war. Weaponsmith. Oh, let's go blacksmith though. These guys are dwarves, they're not specialized really. You will have armor though, so you have 6, 7, and then it's 2 helpers.
He fucks up, he's gonna look stupid.
He looks stupid.
What's he need?
4.
4? Okay.
I don't know if getting higher will just make the time really short, so why not spend a fate point? One of his 2 fate points, and we roll these 4 6s. He's got 5 so far. Successes.
Plus 2 more.
So we got 7. So that's 3 over the obstacle. So you're gonna be able to bring it down a good ways. Let me pause this one more. Pause this. How long would you think it'd take to make a sword through blacksmithing if you have 3 people working on it?
I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're trying to do with that, because I almost feel like in certain cases, extra people might get in the way.
Yeah. These are dwarves, though. They know what they're doing.
Well, should see first you have to beat the metal into a malleable shape.
Yeah, I don't think it'd take longer than a day at least.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't want you to Google it.
Hmm?
Google it.
Google? Yeah. And say that it'll take them, because you're starting pretty much late into the night, so I don't know if you plan on staying up late, but, so by the time you get the antidotes all extracted, it's pretty damn late if you wanted to wait. It's going to take about a full day, like a full, 24 hours to have this sword made for you.
And, well, there you go. Based on the thing you Googled, one guy can be making the scabbard, one guy could be making the blade, and...
Yeah, getting it all together.
Yeah, I don't know what the last guy's doing. Sitting
Farting
off in the
around.
corner reading a book.
Yeah. Maybe you can get ready. Maybe you can start working on your other thing. The other thing we're trying to tackle this one thing at a time. So yeah, it'll take a full day. So by the time you get started on the next part, well, they'll be doing this while you're working on the other stuff. All right, so this will take them a full 24 hours. So let's see what's next. Are you having a name? So just try to start making a pool of dice you have to use. So make one dice because you have it named so far.
Oh, one dice. Got it.
Alright, now the Enchantment trait. The enchanter must obtain a trait which represents the source for his enchantment. We already did that. This is pretty much adding the obstacle, so I'll keep track of the obstacle. On word. So right now, the trait you're doing the blood right now, right?
Yeah. That was an obstacle one, you said.
Yes. That was a die trait, so you actually get +1 dice because it was a die trait. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. Yeah, so add one dice to your summoning pool for having a die trait.
Enchanted.
Yes. Basic enchantment effects. There are 10 different effects enchanter can bestow upon his item. Yeah, you're doing a weapon enchantment, right?
Yeah.
For this one. Alright, so which one are you deciding to do?
What's it called?
Increased weapon power?
Yeah.
It's obstacle 1 plus value of the new power. So a sword's base power is 3. How much are you going to add to that power?
I just keep it simple for now. Like 1.
Just want to make it up power 4? So that'll be obstacle 2 then.
Oh,
it'll be obstacle 1.
obstacle 2?
I think plus the value, or
Well, if it's only obstacle 2.
is it value? Is value the total, like your power plus the thing's power, or is the value obstacle 1 plus whatever things you give it?
I think it depends on the value of a sword.
Obstacle 1 plus the value of the new VA. So yeah, I guess. So base obstacle will be 4.
Oh.
And then adding any extra power to it will increase that. Because, that's what I'm getting. Because it's the value of the new VA. The new VA would be its base VA plus the one you want to give it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just going to add 1 to it then? Or do you want to try a different enchantment?
So 4 would give me a +1 if I successfully do it. Correct? No?
I think 4 is like what we start with, and if you want to add anything to it, it'll make it higher.
I don't know. What are my other options?
For weapon enchantments?
Yeah.
Increased weapon power, which is obstacle 1 plus value of the... Wait, that's what I just read. VA is... Increased VA is obstacle 1 plus the value of the new VA. Modify weapon speed.
What would be the point of increasing VA?
Versus armor. So I think
armor.
swords don't have a versus armor stat, so if an opponent's wearing an armor, the sword will be able to penetrate it better. Weapon speed is not something we have to worry about. That was an earlier edition. There's no weapon speed in this edition. Reduce add is obstacle 4, and then modify weapon length, reducing it by 1
Wait, reducing add is a good thing?
Reducing weapon length can be a good thing because if you get in on somebody who has a longer weapon length, they're really at a disadvantage against you.
Oh.
You can magically make the sword shorter or magically make it longer.
But, I mean, I'll do the, wait, I'm sorry, there's...
Increased VA, modify, and basically besides the ones you're probably not going to worry about is increased VA and reduce add.
What's reducing add do?
Add is the,
Oh, how much you need over.
over the obstacle to increase the
I'll
power,
reduce,
increase
I'll
the
reduce
damage.
the add. Sounds
Reduce
good.
the add? That's
Yeah.
just base obstacle 4.
Base obstacle 4?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay. So, you're doing reduce add, so that's going to make it obstacle 4 for now. I'll keep track of that. What's next? Target. Who does the effect target?
Personal. Whoever's holding it.
It says the item itself.
Or the item itself, yeah, it reduces the add of the sword.
So that gives you a bonus dice.
Alright.
You sure want to affect a village, pond, or 4 abilities? Internal duration. How long does the item hold the enchantment? Does the enchantment fade over time? Does it have to be used within a certain time frame? There's lasts until used and then is expended. Only lasts until end of the session. Specific physical condition. Lasts until failed test. Multiple uses. Lasts until the end of the adventure. Lasts until the end of the campaign. Lasts forever.
How much is last forever?
4 obstacle. Plus 4 obstacle.
Make it 8. Let's see,
This would be interesting if you fail one of these.
let's see, how about until the end of the adventure? Because that's...
That would add plus 2 obstacle.
Alright,
It's okay with you?
yeah.
That makes obstacle 6 so far. End of the adventure. Alright.
But can I add a way to recharge it? Like, that...
I think you can make if you I think it's stuff you can add to it also.
Yeah.
I'll get to the end and see if there's anything we need to go back and look at. Alright. And then external duration. If the item's effect has an external duration, how long does that last? If your enchantment only affects the item itself, do not use this. Okay, so I don't have to use this. Trigger. What activates or triggers the enchantment?
If someone's attacking you. If someone means you harm.
Well, here, I don't know if any of these will work for you, but there's no trigger, mind meld, thought control, verbal or somatic component, must be touching bearer, and crazy ritual.
Crazy.
That gives you plus 2 dice.
I mean, you have to be holding it for it to work. So I guess that would be true.
What does somatic mean?
Somatic, is like hand gestures.
I see. Because that gives you plus 1 dice if you choose verbal or somatic. And then it must be touching as plus 1 obstacle, and mind meld thought control adds plus 2 obstacle, and no trigger is nothing.
Ooh, can I do a mind meld and like make it more based off emotion, like panic?
That'll give you plus. You can do that. It gives you plus 2 obstacle.
It would give me plus 2 obstacle to
Yeah.
use a mind meld.
You make the obstacle 8.
Yeah, no, that
Too much.
doesn't help me. Let's see.
One of the things that'll help you is crazy ritual or crazy ritual.
Crazy ritual.
That'd be funny. Or a verbal somatic component.
Oh. Okay, so what they have to do is they have to hold it up and go, by the power of Grayskull.
By the power of Grayskull.
Yeah, sure. Let's give it a somatic component. This is the somatic component, Will.
With the sword.
Yeah, on the sword. They have to declare that. Oh, okay. It's activated by offering the person attacking you, like a chance
To surrender.
yeah.
Sounds good. So I give you plus 1 dice to your pool for having a verbal component. But make sure also to write this stuff down too, so you don't forget.
Yeah.
Like underneath your sword, all this stuff. Okay. Okay. Recharge. Most enchanted items lose their power after a period of time or number of uses. The internal duration determines how much power the item has in it. Once the power is used up, the duration expires, the item is rendered inert. The enchanter may build a charm into his creation so that once the internal duration expires, he may recharge it. Adding the recharge option to an item increases the enchanting obstacle by +1. But if you want to, you can go back to your duration and
Yeah.
decrease the duration, but give it
Yeah.
recharge.
Yeah, I think I'd decrease the duration, give it a recharge.
So
You said there's like a multiple use recharge?
yeah, multiple uses, that's +1 obstacle. But I mean, I would avoid that because if you do multiple uses and then recharge, it's basically the same thing. It lasts until event of adventure, because they're both +1, and it lasts till adventure is +2.
So what's the like the lowest you can get?
The lowest are bonuses. It lasts until a specific physical condition, gives you +2 dice, and only lasts until end of the session is +1 dice. Or you can do lasts until used and is then expended is nothing.
Wait, lasts until used is nothing?
Yeah, lasts until used and then is expended is nothing. And then only lasts until end of the session is +1 dice, and then specific physical condition is +2 dice.
Oh, okay, I was misunderstanding. Okay. I'll say specific physical condition. It'll only work if there's a nearby source of light.
Source of light.
Yeah, with at least like I don't know. Wait, let me think about that.
You got to think about whenever there's. Then that means whenever there's no source of light,
Yeah, it wouldn't work at
it
all.
wouldn't work anymore. You have to have it recharged. So if it works the first time, and then you're in darkness, it'll stop working until you recharge it. Even if there's a source of light later after that.
How about it works until the wearer lets it go, or once it's sheathed, it loses its.
That's what I was thinking actually.
Yeah.
So after you use it the first time, if you see that again,
Yeah.
it won't be used until you recharge it. Alright, so that'll give you +2 dice, and I'll have to get rid of that +2 obstacle.
And then turn it into a +1 because I'm adding a recharge.
Yep. It's obstacle 5 right now. So you add a recharge, and you have it to where if it's sheathed, it loses its power.
Right.
So you recharge it. The creator must detail how the item is recharged. This process must either require a test of an appropriate ability, a quest for some rare thing, or a change of ownership. So how is it recharged?
Would prayer work for you?
Yeah, as long as it's a test.
Yeah, like a faith test.
Yeah. So as long as it's a successful prayer test, then it's recharged. Alright. Is you writing this down, Mr. Matt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Just in case, because we're
Yeah.
getting a lot of stuff now. Don't want to forget
Alright,
anything.
So it's recharged by prayer till sheathed.
Once sheathed, it is.
Sheathed, deactivated.
You have to. What was the trigger again?
Allow the opponents to surrender themselves.
Oh yeah. That's to trigger it. It lasts. Yeah, that's the control duration. The trigger, and then it targets the item itself, and it's the enchantment itself is reduce add, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then modularity. Would you like to design the item so it can be further enchanted and enhanced in the future? If yes, increase the enchanting obstacle by 1. Not gonna bother?
No.
Alright. Alright. About that, nothing about that. Okay. I think that's it.
So I just add my enchanting dice on top of all that.
Yep. You roll your enchanting plus those bonuses, and your obstacle's 5.
Do I get to fork in my doctrine because that's the skill I'm using to
Let me look back. I'm pretty sure you can still use forks. Let me just
check.
check. I don't see you can use. Oh wait, here we go. Wait, never mind. Thought it was- I'll say you can use forks as long as they're appropriate.
Right. Well, I was actually gonna say something else though. I'd like to also add onto the sword. I'm going to would you allow this? I can fork in my symbology so I can like carve a prayer along the blade.
That's to help with the
Yeah,
it's just like for flavor. That's how you recharge it. Maybe you can place your hand upon the symbol and say your prayer.
Yeah.
It'll glow.
Oh no, I'm not placing it. Like I'm using. Oh, I'm sorry. I should use my calligraphy if I'm writing a prayer into the blade.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, because symbols are. Like,
You have to read that prayer.
yeah,
in
you
order
have
to
to
recharge
recite that prayer and mean it.
Right.
I might come up with what the prayer is later.
Gotcha.
Um,
Don't forget to write that down too, so you don't forget. It's interesting. All right, so yeah, roll your dice. Obstacle 5. Don't forget your
so
forks.
do I fork in calligraphy or no?
Yes. Where are you rolling, by the way, just out of curiosity?
How many?
Yeah.
3, 6, 9, 11.
Wow. That's the most dice we've rolled in a game so far.
Yeah.
Obstacle 5. You better goddamn do it.
1, 2. Oh Jesus!
Oh no.
I got 3 and one's a 6.
Well, do you have any? Well, actually, this is it's open ended, so.
Yeah. What horrible thing happens to this sword?
Oh, we'll get to find out.
I got 4
4
successes.
successes. So close. So close. Well, let's get you a test first. You know, so you don't feel like you did this for nothing. 11 dice versus 5.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
It's a routine test.
Yeah, I think.
I don't even know what I liked. All right, well.
See, I'm gonna roll just one time just to see if like.
You should.
My God! What is all the ones?
It goes down too, Matt. If you roll 1, it takes away from you. Okay.
Oh my God! One sec. Like, how can you roll like 11 dice and not get 5? Like 5 successes. That's ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. I'll stop this chair. I'm so angry.
So upset.
That time I did it. No wait. Yeah, I did that time. I succeeded by 1. No, I just made it.
How do you remember how much you failed by?
I got 4 total. And like
You rolled 11 dice.
Well, 12 because one was open ended.
Right. All right. So you failed by a good bit.
Yeah. So something happened that either I fucked up the ritual or.
I'm thinking I might just roll a d6 and it'll tell me what happens to your sword.
Oh, die of fate.
Die of fated. Because there's 3 options. So based on what I roll,
Okay.
see what happens.
Well, are you doing it like 1, 2 is 1, 3, 3, 4?
Yep. 5. We have perversion.
Oh god, perversion.
Perversion changes the nature of the item to something twisted. A perverted enchantment's effect changes to the opposite of the intention of the enchanter. If the item is meant to heal, it harms. If it was meant to protect, it makes vulnerable. If it was meant to aid, it hinders.
I was about to say something like it's like a sort of like bloodletting instead of like, you know, it helps you and it forces you to give your opponent an opportunity to escape. You must cut down.
Let's see. So let's think of an appropriate way that this thing is perversed. Because you made it so it would like only attack if the person
It would only
is...
work if the person was meant to. It was trying to harm you, and you were supposed to, give them an opportunity to change their minds and just.
Well, if it's okay with you, I'm going to say something. Since you failed really horribly, this thing's going to take on kind of a supernatural thing.
It's a talking evil sword.
No, not that crazy, but
It
this
requires
thing
you to kill like 20 babies.
This thing is bloodthirsty. Like, not only does it like it works if you attack somebody without provocation. It will try to force the wielder to do its bidding. Like they'll have to make some sort of will test or something, and if they
But
fail,
Boniface isn't aware his enchantment went awry.
I don't think he
Because
is.
the perversion is like what it is it looks like every like because I think
It looks normal,
I read
but-
it. Yeah, it looks like it all worked perfectly, but so that's even interesting, especially since he's the one who's supposed to be using this. So.
Dun dun dun. All right. I have to.
Explain to them.
Let's see how long it takes you to make this thing, though. It took the dwarves a day to make the sword. How long would it take you to enchant it? Enchanting takes days equal to the obstacles. So it takes you 5 days. The GM decides to fail by a margin of 1 to 4 successes. Failure by 5 or more requires a day or so of mucking about. Okay, so you failed by 5 or more.
Yeah.
So it makes it 6 days. So it takes you close to a week to get this thing done, but you still have a good bit of time to work on the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say by the end of your time with the sword, by the time you finish making it, you are presented with another severed tongue. This
Yeah.
one looking more human in nature.
All right, let's see.
I'll pause this now. Okay, so the only thing that's changed from what we said earlier is that I've changed up exactly how Matt's sword, the pacifistic pilgrim, has changed, and I haven't told him, so I'm not telling you guys. We'll find out as the story progresses.
Oh, that is a tease, Will. That is a tease.
Super tease. Everyone has something to look forward to now. Okay, so what's next? We have your
Yeah.
newly received tongue,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the hand that you distilled down correctly. So you can either try and retrieve the antecedent from this new tongue, or you can start working on your hand.
Well, the tongue will be there later. Didn't it say with baubles and stuff? I didn't have to.
Yeah, because it's like, I think you're making a ring, right? Are you
Yeah.
wanting to make a ring
Yep.
for the thieving
the
thing?
thieving ring.
Let's see here. Vessels. If the item in question is just a simple bauble or trinket, no additional craft or materials are required. So it's basically someone can provide you with like a basic ring, like nothing of really any worth or value. One of the dwarves can provide you with a basic ring to be enchanted by your enchantment.
Well, that sounds mighty fine to me.
Do you wish to think of a name for this?
Sure.
Would you
I will
pencil?
call it the necessary evil.
There you go. All right.
Because these things are only supposed to be used when necessary. In most cultures, thieving is wrong.
Necessary evil. So having the name will give you a +1 dice, as we discussed earlier, to your roll. Okay.
One day, these things will be treasures, and people will think they're amazing, even though they're shit.
Because they have fancy names.
Yeah. Thousands of years from now, some adventurer will find this and they'll be like, "This is so amazing."
It's got a name. It's got to be good.
I don't know, maybe magic doesn't exist anymore at that point in time.
Yeah, maybe.
An enchanted object would be worth a lot of money.
Should have wrote down what the traits I picked out that you have seen from, because I gotta know if it's a. I'll pause this. All right, I'm gonna say that it is a die trait that you took from it, so you get +1 dice to your pull.
Alright. That's 2 so far.
All right. And now you get to pick the effect you wish to give this ring. There's 10 different effects: the advantage, the obstacle, the grant skill, the grant stat, the trait transference, the test tweaks, the weapon enchantments. I'm thinking you want to do a test tweak maybe for stealthy, so you can do that. Chandra can imbue an item with a bit of fighting spirit stolen from the source creature for the incident. It can be used to create doors that resist being opened, pictures that seduce onlookers, or gloves that grab things they shouldn't. Maybe that's it. When activated, the item causes a versus test between itself and its target. The ability the item uses comes from the source creature. During the enchantment process, choose a stat, skill, health, or steal attribute that the item will challenge. This is an obstacle to enchanting effect. Maybe it's not that then. Advantage. Enchanter may have his item bestowed advantage dice upon its user. Advantage dice may be granted to a stat, a skill, house, tier, circles, or resources. The ability benefited must be known at the time. Okay, that's probably it.
Yep.
Probably give it an advantage. 1 to 3 dice may be granted. The obstacle is equal to the advantage dice to be granted. So you can have up to 3. And I'll make your obstacle 3 if you have 3 dice, 2 if you have 2 dice. So do you want to, how many do you want to do?
3. Let's go for broke.
Alright, so 3. I'll write down the obstacle so I don't forget. So for now it's ob 3. And you want to do an advantage 3 dice for stealthy. Alright, next up we have target. Whom does the effect affect? The item itself, the wielder of the item, single target.
The wielder of the item.
Alright, so that doesn't do anything, doesn't add or take away or whatever. Internal duration, how long does the item hold the enchantment?
How about what are the options again?
You have lasts until used, and then is expended, which doesn't do it, like doesn't have anything obstacle dice modifier. Only lasts until the end of the session, which is plus 1 dice. Specific physical condition, plus 2 dice. Lasts until failed tests, plus 1 obstacle. Actually, I'll let you borrow the book here so you can look at it.
I think I'll do till a specific thing happens. How about when the person fails at stealing?
So let's see. Specific physical condition.
Oh,
I mean,
physical. Yeah, that's more.
well, like I think they have one that specifically says lasts until failed test, which is a plus 1 obstacle to the enchantment.
Oh, okay.
They look up. I think
What's the physical?
they have it. They have it here. The item's power fails if a specific physical condition is met or is unmet. Physical conditions are varied. The item can't be wet. The item can never touch the ground. The item must always be held. The owner may never refuse a handshake.
Oh.
This is the most dynamic duration category. It's a lot of fun. These conditions can heavily influence the behavior of the character. The enchanter can develop his own physical condition for his item. It must not be obscure, but neither should it be very common. I still think that one's appropriate about the sword that it loses enchantment if it's sheathed after being drawn. What do you want to do for the ring?
I'm trying to think because I feel like Boniface would put kind of almost a fail-safe into it. So if the thief were to use it for evil, it would stop working.
Yeah.
So if the
They failed test is always a surefire away, so make the wielder hesitant to go too far with it because he'll risk losing it.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is the ring can't tell one person from another. So
Yeah.
you're gonna say like, it can't tell if someone's good or evil. So it's not like I can say if you try to steal from a good person, it'll just nerd out. How about this? It only works if it'll only work at night.
One works at night.
Maybe. I'm trying to think how often Chip would need to steal something during the day. Because if we're just walking around during the day, I can see him getting all klepto with that ring.
Getting in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because if it's night when we're trying to like do a stealth steal and stuff, then it could be a little more like, all right, Chip, it's nighttime.
Get to work.
Something tells me he doesn't care if it's nighttime. He might just go out and start stealing stuff. That'll be a little harder because not everything's out in the open.
Right.
How about we'll just do that one thing that if he
Fails the test.
yeah he fails the test, I guess.
All right. So let's add 1 to the obstacle. So now it's at 4. All right. External duration. Does it This item has external duration. How long does that last? If enchantment only affects the item itself. Yeah. So we could skip that again. Untrigger. What activates or triggers the enchantment? How is this magic evoked from the item? You have no trigger, which doesn't add or take away anything. You can do the mind meld thought control. You have a verbal somatic component. Must be touching bearer or a crazy ritual.
I got it.
Huh.
I'm gonna add little things to all of theirs. To activate it, the wearer must profess that they're sorry for what they're about to do.
So a verbal component. All right, so that adds 1 dice to your thing.
Looking at three.
Yes. Let me actually start. Well, we'll remember. I'll remember. We'll go through it all. Remember all these little things. Somatic. Does he have to mean it?
I mean,
I guess it won't.
yeah,
know.
it won't know, but I'm gonna at least make him say it. And you're gonna love my recharge thing.
Yeah, what to ask you. Now it's up to recharge. So add 1 obstacle for recharge ability.
Mm-hmm.
Then what's the recharge?
He must apologize for everything he's stolen since the last recharge.
That's how you recharge it?
Yeah, and mean it.
That's funny. I don't know if you don't mean it, Chip. Do you really feel sorry about it?
It's like, I'm sorry for the cat I stole. I'm sorry for the for the baked goods I took off the cart. I'm sorry I pickpocketed that noble. I'm sorry.
Jesus. Alright, last question. Do you want to be able to be moldable in the future? Have future enchantments? That would add another +1 to the obstacle. And that's the last thing.
Nah, I think that's good.
Alright, so you're at obstacle 5 for creating this enchantment.
Right. I've
So-
got 3 bonus dice.
Yes. Okay, so you just roll your enchanting plus any forks and those 3 advantage dice. The DM dice.
3 plus my enchanting of 4
7.
plus I'm going to place a symbol in it on the inside of the ring.
What sort of symbol?
It's the Watcher's Lantern.
A Watcher's Lantern? I
Mhm.
got you.
To know that the user of this ring is always being watched for his sins, but is also being looked over by.
Alright, so obstacle 5. Can you pull it out your ass?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You did it?
Yep.
Yay! He met his obstacle. Alright.
What kind of test is that, or are we gonna not?
It's 7
Yeah.
total. I think it's another routine test. Yeah, every time you do an enchantment, I'll get you a new test for it. It's a lot of work. I think it's viable to give you
I
more than
don't
one
enjoy
test.
doing this. Someone had to have their tongue ripped out on this.
Well, someone
Why
had,
do
had
they
their,
ask for such terrible things?
someone had to have their hand chopped off for this. Alright, so this takes you about 5 days to complete, added on top of the about week-long thing. So you still got a good bit of time left. Let me actually pause this real quick. Pause. So we gotta try one more time, or maybe multiple times, seeing as how this goes. Retrieve, because now you're working with a more human-esque looking tongue that they've provided you in another similar jar with the
Well,
claw.
while we have the recorder on, I have a question for you. I was actually just thinking about the lying thing. Boniface is all about kind of equality and balancing things out.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I was thinking about putting on the what's it called?
Amulet?
Yeah. Would be the stipulation would be if it ever needs to be recharged, that I don't know, something like he must answer the next 3 questions he's asked truthfully.
Oh, in order to recharge it?
Yeah,
Guess the answer to the next question is truthfully.
yeah.
Recharge.
Yeah, we can do it in order. I was just saying what I was trying to. I was bouncing
Oh.
ideas.
Actually, now that I'm reading it, it says that this, like, the process to be recharged has to either require a test of an appropriate ability or a request for some
Oh.
rare thing or a change of ownership. So I might have to actually go back about Dolan's ring, maybe do something test worthy. Either a test, a quest, or a change of ownership to recharge it. You can't just apologize. It's too simple.
Too simple. He's gonna feel bad apologizing for all the stuff he did. Alright, well, we'll get to that once we've finished this.
Alright, just gotta remember. Alright, let's start with retrieving the antecedent from this new tongue.
Oh boy.
Same process, just can't fuck it up this time.
Oh boy. Oops, drop the dice.
Oh boy.
So I don't get any bonuses on this, right? It's just. Or did I get the. You let me fork enchanting?
Forking enchanting, and let me refresh my memory. I think this is going to be a different trait because it's not an orc tongue. Specifically an orc tongue because of the trait that I found. But now it's not going to be the same trait, but I do know where to find this trait.
Okay. Is it not as good of a trick?
No, it's good. Well, it's...
Well, what, if you don't mind me asking, like, what did the orc trait do?
The orc trait was a call on for falsehood.
Oh, okay.
So is this one.
So it's just like a human trait.
Yes. It's actually going to be more difficult unless I can find something better. Or easier for you to use.
Wait, would it have been a better trait?
Well, I mean, I don't think the trait really matters as long as you get a certain trait. I'm trying to find... Because the person's not, like, well known for being a liar or anything. I'm trying to find a simple trait that will... Actually, pause this. A low cost. I found the appropriate trait. This is going to be...
Obstacle 100.
Obstacle ability. Obstacle 1.
Oh, okay.
Easier than the last trait.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
Oh,
2 successes.
you're good. You extract the trait from this tongue, probably because it's more human-esque, so you're more familiar with a human tongue than with an orc. Alright, moving on then. Shouldn't keep closing this. Okay, library. Where is enchanting?
But on that, I don't know. I dated an orc girl in seminary school.
Oh, really? Was she freak in the bed?
A gentleman never does horrible things and tells.
Okay. So, first step after extracting this. Oh, does it say a time frame for how long it takes to extract such a thing?
I have no clue.
I have no clue either.
You want to pause while you find out?
No. Alright, moving on. Vessel and name. So this is an amulet you're working with. Again, it's something that you don't need to have prepared for you because an amulet is like a trinket. So you're given another common thing to work with, similar to the ring. It's nothing fancy, but it'll serve your purposes. And do you wish to give this thing a name? To give yourself a +1 dice to your pool?
Sure, why not? Let's call it the
The Surveillance is a bitch.
I sure do hate that dwarf. No, I got it. Boniface does have a sense of humor. They'll call it the plebeian's amulet.
The plebeians.
Sorry, plebeian. Pronounced it wrong. Plebeian's amulet.
What do you know about the whole plebeian joke?
What?
What do you
Yeah,
know
he
about?
did, because he actually yelled at Boniface for it too, but Boniface didn't even call him plebeian. I don't think. I'd have to re-listen to the video. He started calling him it after he got all pissy, but
Plebeian's amulet. Alright, so that adds 1 to your dice pool. Alright.
no, wait, he called Boniface a plebeian. He's like, what? I don't know what you're talking.
What you talking about? Unfortunately, since this is a character trait and not a die trait, you get a +1 to your obstacle
Oh.
for using it.
Ah.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Okay. So you wish to basically the same thing with the ring, except with a falsehood test instead of a stealthy test. You wish to do the advantage.
I'm sorry, what?
Do you wish to do an advantage enchantment to the amulet? Just instead of stealthy, it's falsehood.
Yeah.
You want how many? Do you want to go 1, 2, or 3?
We'll go with 2.
All right. So bring it up to obstacle 3.
It's complicated, man.
There's a lot to work with. Alrighty. Target. You're gonna have it target the wielder.
Yeah.
Alright, so nothing with that. The internal duration. How long do you want this enchantment to last? Just look at the list you can. Because there's a lot to keep with.
It works only as long as it's touching very cheap cloth
Very cheap cloth.
to ensure the guy wearing it is always wearing terrible clothing.
Well, it's funny because he's wearing right now. His character's wearing that really ratty scarf around his neck.
Oh, so there you go.
There you go.
But this is to ensure he always dresses like a plebe.
So was it less
I was gonna say physical condition.
a specific physical condition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Must always be touching, like, what does it say? I must always be touching, like, I don't know, what's a cheap fabric? Unprocessed wool? No,
Linen?
unprocessed cotton.
Unprocessed cotton.
Yeah, so it's got all the seeds and shit stuck in it. It's just uncomfortable and itchy.
Alright. Alright, so that's 2 to your dice pool. So 3 now.
Wait, 3 for what?
Oh wait, that's right. I don't think you. Well, no, you named it, so that's 1,
Oh, that's one.
and then 2 for the
Yeah.
duration. Okay. There's no external duration because it's only affecting the thing. The trigger. Do you want it to have no trigger? Do you want it to be a mind meld thought control thing, or verbal somatic component? Must be touching bearer, or just a crazy ritual?
I want to give it a ridiculous verbal component. Like, he has to start the story like, well, there was this one time. You can't really lie like that unless you're telling a bad story.
So he has to like tell a story, like a false story.
Yeah, but he wants to just lie to people.
Or he can make up a story. He's gonna make up a good story.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess you could say, but that one makes. Well, there was this one time where I was the commander of your platoon.
For some reason, I don't believe you.
Oh, for some reason that sounds like it could be true.
It says this trigger, the verbal or somatic component, can involve things like when it rains or when someone opens the door. It's verbal, somatic component, or conditional trigger. So it can be based off conditions if you want to. Didn't read that until just now.
Huh.
A lot to think over.
Yeah.
Please tell me I didn't keep this. Okay. Now pause this while you think. What you got?
It will only work if, and this is still kind of harassing him, but it works for a dwarf in a way. It'll only work
if he's carrying some kind of alcohol on his person.
Has to carry alcohol in his person.
No. He has to have some alcohol in his system for it to work.
Gotcha. So that's the conditional trigger.
Yeah.
It only works if he consumes alcohol. That's how it's triggered.
Mm.
Alrighty. So it adds 1 dice, so it's a total of 4 to your pool. Do you wish to have a recharge thing? Give it recharge ability?
How long is that? Am I having it last?
I think you had it last. Trigger. Internal duration. Did we say?
No, I don't think we did.
Oops, I skipped over it.
So what are my choices again?
Wait, wasn't it the physical thing actually? The it lasts as long as he has that sort of that on whatever cotton. But if he takes it off, it's lost.
I thought that was something else.
I think that was that actually.
Oh yeah, specific physical condition. You're right.
So as long as he's wearing that, that's
it
how
lasts
long.
forever as long as he's
Yeah.
it's touching cheap cloth.
But if he takes off the cheap cloth,
Yeah.
then it's lost.
Um.
Do you want to have a recharge?
Sure, we'll
thing?
give it a recharge just in case.
Alright, obstacle 4, and then how it's to be recharged either through an appropriate test of an ability, a quest for some rare thing, or a change of ownership.
He must successfully lie to something. No. Oh, what's kind of a good thing for someone like a balance to a lie?
He's got to do a good deed.
He must drink and not. He must drink a barrel of ale and not throw
Jesus. Kill this guy.
up. I hate him. I hate him so much.
You maybe if he can
Oh,
recharge
seriously,
it.
if
If
Nathan doesn't punch me next season, I'll be surprised.
maybe you can it could be a persuasion test. If he persuades someone to do a good deed, then that will recharge the amulet.
Or oh, how about he has to do a resource check. He must give up something. Is there like a like? I mean, I can't do that though because he's not really a dwarf. It's gonna involve dwarven greed, but he's not a dwarf.
Not technically.
Yeah, I mean he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, though. I'm pretty sure he's a wolf in another kind of wolf's clothing because the dwarf seems shady as fuck. I don't know. What's
Oops, I should. So much empty space. Sorry, guys.
the cheap cloth? I think that's just kind of silly.
You're gonna
And
change
just-
the
and just-
duration.
yeah, and just me egging Nathan on. I think I'll still keep it as a specific thing.
Just choose
But,
something else.
Yeah, I'll choose it. It's like.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. We already read this.
I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna make that the specific condition about it. I'm gonna. God, I can't think of anything right now. Let's see. Instead of having he has to drink for it to work, we'll just
Like for the trigger.
yeah. We'll just say he has to be around alcohol. So like being in a tavern would work.
So as long as he's around alcohol.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, better yet. Here's my balance. Okay.
Okay.
The trigger is verbal, and he has to tell a secret.
He has to share a secret.
Yeah, like share a secret with somebody that they don't know. He can't just like say every time he wants to start up. I was bullied in the 3rd grade and I peed my pants. I mean, I know that secret. There's one every time, but it doesn't always. Like he can do the same secret, but he has to share it with someone.
Yeah, it's gotta
new.
be new information.
Yeah. That's how he activates it. And to recharge it, he has to beat someone in a he has to recharge it by beating someone in some kind of verbal test. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
He could lie to someone. He could persuade someone.
Gotcha. He's got to overpower somebody verbally.
Yeah. He has to prove himself to the amulet.
Gotcha.
That he doesn't need it, but
So you're still doing the internal duration with the touching cloth stuff? Or are you changing that?
instead we'll change it to he can it activates as long as
Or lasts as long as?
yeah.
Because activates would be like a trigger
Yeah.
terminology.
It lasts as long as he wears it openly. The second he hides it or puts it away.
Okay, he has to wear it
No
openly.
longer.
Does this still, just one last question then, because of all the changes, is it still like appropriate to call it the plebeian's amulet, or do you want to give it a different name?
No, I think I'll still keep that because I mean, like, I'm not gonna be totally mean with it because I was almost like circling the whole thing about him being
Yeah.
poor, but
Just going to cover the,
yeah,
that.
I'm just gonna keep the name to like poke at him
Okay.
a little bit.
So then, last question, do you want to give it possible further enchantment, or you want to keep it as is?
No, I'll just keep it as is.
Alright, then you're
Once I
obstacle.
get better at enchantment, I'll try some of that crazier shit.
Yeah. Alright, so we got obstacle 4 then, for this particular.
Alright, and I got one for naming it and two for the specific condition.
Yeah, one for naming it. I think I got another one too. Let's see, one for naming it, two for specific condition, one for the verbal or somatic component. Alright. I think that's it. Yep, so 4 plus your summoning, your chanting, plus any forts.
Alright. Fork in calligraphy. Right on the back. Humility is a virtue.
Gotcha.
Or humility, something. Humility. Yeah, I'll just do virtue. I was gonna say something a little more profound, but that works. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's all but that one that you
Yeah.
rolled.
I'll roll these again. So that's 6 successes so far.
Keep rolling it. 7, 8, 9. Jesus Christ.
So I just
Are we-
tapped it. Ding!
Perfect. We look and see now because you got so high over the obstacle. Pause this real quick. But there's.
They're into elf on human torture.
I'll say just.
Oh god, I didn't know I was just going. I was about to say.
just saying. Since you got so high over the obstacle, we'll say it only took you like a couple days instead of 5 or 4. It took you like 2 days to get this ring out. You guess you
Amulet.
Yeah. The amulet. So yeah, you make up for your first botched tongue by using this tongue to its full potential.
I'm just that good, guys. Oh yeah,
So-
so that
Oh yeah, we have to go back at the. I gotta fill in. Let's fill in the blanks here for the plebeian's amulet
yeah.
first. So appearance, what does it look like? It's
Just a simple. All I did was I punched a hole in a like local currency, kind of like the cheapest currency they have, like a penny to us.
It's like a copper.
Yeah.
So wait, it's a amulet. It's a copper amulet.
Yeah. It's basically a copper coin that's just strung on a string, and I carved it in the back in fancy calligraphy. Humility is a virtue.
String with the words humility is a virtue inscribed on the back, and then
will only work if
let's see, it confers a 2D advantage on falsehood rolls. It's activated
when you tell tell a secret?
By telling a... Is that how it's activated or is that how it's recharged?
Wait. Well then, how would did I activate it before?
I'm trying to think of that.
Now I'm pretty sure you told a secret to activate it.
By telling...
Because
Oh yeah,
that-
recharging
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
winning in a duel.
Yeah.
By telling someone a secret.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have given him an obstacle or a test to beat.
Lasts. How long? How do we decide how it lasted?
It lasts as long as he keeps it out in the open.
Oh yeah,
He can never hide it.
it's kept out in the open. Can only be recharged by winning in a verbal duel. Okay. So, I remember. So the whole time it takes you to do this is about. Let's see. The first one, creating the sword, took about like 6 days.
Yeah.
The 6 days. So and then the ring took 5 days. And then this took 2 days. So it's been about almost 2 weeks. Just gotta remember that for next session that you guys will be pretty busy for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, I guess that's it until the other guys get here. See you. Now remember back one last thing. Gotta change Dolan's ring for how it's recharged.
It discourages role play. I have to make him do a test of some sort.
Or you can have him go on a quest for something, or you...
Oh, I got it.
He must admit to something he's stolen to the person he stole it from and get their apology. And it can't be like he steals something for us so we have to forgive him. He must get like a legitimate he must legitimately apologize and have someone accept his apology.
has to receive acceptance from a person he has stolen from. That'll be interesting. Alright, well, that's that then. Goodbye! Alright, let's back to being not recorded. Okay, so we're back again, having a full group together. We're going to continue on with some more stuff that's probably happening in the background during
And I'm loose.
Yeah, we got Lucius and Boniface here today.
Yeah,
Potentially, they're going to be the transition. So yeah, basically what's happening, Lucius is going to have to agree to accept what's about to be accepted, that, this is going to be happening. We're very kind of fast forward. It's been about, I've written down. It's been about 17 days since our last recording, so it's been 17 days since then. So, at this point, if you pick up this task, you're going to try to remind you about this, because whatever happens before this, you're just going to have to set some time aside to do what you're about to do, potentially. But it's been 17 days, so hopefully,
so what you're saying is when we have the whole group, we're going back
they're going to be backtracking when we go to the group.
17 days.
It's been 17 days.
And before that, it was 1 day, or the day before that last day, 18 days ago, would have been when we got back to the city.
Yep, when you arrive at the king.
No, it's my fault. I fucked the enchantment.
It's been 18 days. We'll get to that. Alright, so, it's been 18 days. Hopefully Lucius isn't dead. This is fun. We're going to assume he's not. And, you're approached, by a few dwarves. One being assumed as the head of him because he's walking in front of two more like guards and anything else. One of them is dressed in very fancy like robes and nice clothing. He's really wizened like old dwarf. He's got a bald head, a long white beard, and a little spectacles on the bridge of his bulbous nose. And where would they find you? It's about like midday at the moment. I could break it to you, but about 16, 17 days ago, you were, if we're going to get to this, but you found out that you and Nolan, in fact, your entire squad was temporarily disbanded by the king until the Maryland situation was probably resolved. So,
we're in a situation now.
unofficially, you and Dolan are no longer members of the Suicide Squad, meaning you no longer get free alcohol from the Elysium.
Well, you know, he still would probably be down the titty bar.
There's not enough else to constitute for a titty bar.
We have like one hooker.
Yeah, we have all the female population spirit club working and shit at a time.
Including salons.
Unfortunately, no way, and I want to go now.
Now you have to go.
Do I want to make a wish? I want to make a wish.
You have to find a lamp first.
Oh shit, there's a lamp. Alright, first thing I would do is go find a lamp.
Oh.
Okay,
Wait, so you also find out because you arrived as Justice Goddess, you are guarded now, have eyes kept on you by one of the Elven guards. Not Archer. He's not officially a guardsman. I wrote down his name in here.
I wouldn't let you be guarded by a friend. The douche
He is a fellow brother. He just did not go into the path of soldiering. He went into the path of guarding. He just what was his name? He's a guard.
And guard you really are is in the shoes.
Let me actually pause.
probably the way over here.
I didn't even pause this. Okay.
I'll say it again.
So you were tasked with the guard to keep an eye on you until a dark situation's been cleared up. And this guard is named Teletos. Yes, he's one of your brothers, but into one of the few elves who decided to be a guard instead of a soldier. And
Part of the song.
yeah, he's a song sword, so he'd be one of your brothers.
Okay. I didn't know if it meant that.
I'm sorry. He's a song sword, just one of the few song swords who became guards instead of soldiers.
That was going to totally like brilliant.
No, he's one of yours. He's not like an unfriendly person, but he kind of keeps to himself. He's probably said like less than a few words to you since a couple of weeks he's been with you. He kind of just keeps to himself and keeps a watchful eye on you. But so he's usually with you during the day. So where will these dwarves find you and tell those, given what's happened these past couple of weeks? The dwarven bar?
Is that an Elven bar? Which is like that's the name of it?
The drunken beard. That's where they would find you.
It's the dwarven bar. That's an underground bar.
Unfortunately, your one dwarven friend,
I was just about to ask
Van.
because I plan on checking on.
We'll get into that. For now, you just know that he's still in jail at this point.
Okay, I'm okay with that. He's not dead.
So it's not dead yet, but you talked to him in jail. Whenever you talk to him in jail.
Spoiler?
It's not a spoiler. It's he's not dead yet. Everyone dies eventually.
Don't tell me that.
It's depressing. Well, I don't want to do the game anymore.
I'm sorry. Maybe you won't die during the game, but you assume if we ever stop this and get to an end, your character will die in the future. It just wouldn't be part of the story.
Yeah, see, maybe it's more depressing and
That means that
But-
they actually win.
Oh, you can win.
The genie, like, well.
I mean, you could win. There's possible immortalities
Oh, wait, no, I can live forever. I'm gonna know.
until you die every.
yeah, you can commit suicide, which is double the
But even though you're in the drunken beer, the alcohol is very cheap and very strong. You're still gonna pay for it. Do you have any cash on hand?
what's his face?
Tell us. He actually doesn't really drink. he just monitors you while you.
Well, you get paid for it. It is.
No, he paid for me because if he doesn't, I will get into a fight on purpose.
With him.
And no. Okay, well, if I'm not doing that, I would imagine I'm not armed. But just didn't like it.
Well, I mean, you and Corvus and Dolan, for that matter, spent actual like resource points for like, armor and shit. So I'm saying that you know, if you're in the military, they would give you armor, but since you guys spent points on it, that means it's yours personally. You don't have to mod it. That means that you don't get new ones if you break them. But you have to, you know, you have to keep up with fixing them up. They're yours. They're not part of the military, really.
Well, then I would say I'm checking up on
Checking them out, armor.
yeah, making sure if there's any games cracked, things.
You know, over time, it gets bad, but unless you like get beaten heavily with someone else's weapon, your armor stays pretty.
Well, I mean, just for like story purposes,
That's
that's
what they
why
define
I'm
you.
talking with that while I'm checking up on the armor and shit.
Okay. Well,
If that's what it is. Don't kill all my friends, Will.
I'm not going to try to. Just other people have their own, what you call it, plans and all that fun
So
stuff.
we're just at power in prison, that is on me.
But if you get it, or be,
Yeah, I'm not sure all gays get hollow.
no, I wasn't even going with that. I was just trying to think
I
something.
thought you were going.
Just
I forgot you were gay. You're not. Alright.
Corvus.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about it lately, and I think I changed my mind about being straight.
That's what I have to put us on a recorded burning wheel game.
Yeah, now you can't think that. Pause the recording and start again.
Posties on the internet.
You never know. I would like you just to get it off my goddamn computer.
Yes, yeah.
It'll happen. Well, anyways, just to proceed with what we're doing.
Let's play a game called Strike Wheel.
Yes, it looks wonderfully. Burnoid! So, just to continue the progress, Lucius, the dwarves will find you at one of the blacksmiths, just checking out your armor, making sure it's not just falling apart of your body. With Telezos just kind of off, not too far in distance, but kind of off his own way, you know. And the dwarves approach you. And the first one clears his throat and says, you are Lucius Delicus, correct?
I turn around. And I kind of like. I look down before I realize they are. Just because.
You're so tall.
No, because I'm not going to believe it.
Oh,
As soon as I turned around, I noticed they were forward, but I didn't anyway. Yeah, that would be who's asking.
I am Eurus, one of the mother's official recorders. I am here. Oh, actually, he kind of looks around. Mind if we go somewhere private?
So, what's wrong with being a blacksmith shop? What would you possibly have to tell me the word?
It has to do with some of your more special talents. Perhaps it's not good to go spreading that sort of thing around.
In that case, I believe the blacksmith has a room in the back we could use.
Blacksmith looks up from inspecting your armor and says, "What? For what? What are you talking about?"
It's important. Suicide squad is
If you pay me, I might consider letting you use my office.
Does everybody have their hand on this place?
Look, I'm just trying to make honest living. If you're going to make honest living, I'm going to take advantage of that. That's how things go in the city. He's human. Look, if you want, there's a dark alley in the back of my shop.
The dark alley. Let's go to the dark alley. I want you to keep an eye on my army.
I ain't gonna touch your armor more than I need to. It's kind of dirty. It smells like blood. And death. Okay. Alright, well, you leave lead Eurus and the two dwarves back behind the shop, you see Teletos following behind.
I just
He shakes his head as he keeps following you guys. Eurus and the dwarves don't seem to notice enough. He's kind of keeping a short distance away. You only notice him because, you notice him as much as he notices you lately.
I want to. No. Alright, so now.
Yes, you're in the alley. You don't see Teletos if you figure he's off around the corner or somewhere in earshot. So, well, you do remember the deal, the contract you signed and your comrades with the mother, correct?
Yes.
Well, you do also remember then that Boniface is part involved mainly to creating the enchanted items to help you log your quest, correct?
I remember this.
Well, as of date, he has completed the majority of the required items, but there is one component we were missing in order to bring this all to a close. And it's quite a touchy subject. We've been looking around the past couple of weeks for a reliable source, but it seems that it kind of just falls on you. We're looking for someone, to put it quite frankly, to torture Boniface. Not kill him, but torture him. He requires the bomb screen of a tortured soul. He has specifically to be done upon him to avoid unnecessary harm to innocence. We looked around, and those that are too weak we simply cannot find, and those that are too eager we simply cannot trust. We've heard your skills down below, and we think you're a good mix of someone who's skilled enough, but also will restrain himself. For if we lose Boniface, well, this whole quest goes to shambles.
What?
It's for your cane, in fact.
No, I get it. How bad do I have to torture?
Well, I would imagine, I'm not one for torturing myself, I imagine the higher quality torturing performed, the higher quality screens will be produced.
If I were to, I'm not saying that I am,
Of course.
where?
Well, Boniface, we provided Boniface with a workplace in the, they say, dungeons below the family's mansion. It's sufficient enough to keep out prying ears and eyes, and we have the necessary tools you might need to perform such a holy matter. We will have medics standing by in case things go too far.
Before I agree with this, I think it needs to be
Well, certainly we can take you to him.
where
He's probably where he's been these past couple of weeks, down in the workshop we made for him. We would gladly take you there.
there's one small issue.
That is. He's already drunk. All it takes.
Have a beer.
All it takes. Why I pay her? Oh, you're asking Eurus? Well, I do keep a few spare compartments in my person. He has like a satchel he's carrying around on the side. He reaches in there.
What did he
Pulls out some paper. And hands it to him.
Would it be a falsehood check to, like, if I were to write something on the paper, but to say something aloud that's completely different? That'd be a falsehood to make sure someone doesn't hear it.
Yes, that's false. They do get another list of dice considering the circumstances.
I mean, I'm training falsehood and false that, and if it's
So, what do you just imagine he gave you a parchment and a quill?
I'll do this to correct.
Okay. I'll leave you this sheet of paper and then find it with a quill. You're right in the back of this. You're right in this start. Well, that's it. Is Teletos.
Okay. Oh, yes, thank you for the argument. This is where you can find me in a few minutes. I'm going to be stopping by, making a few trips, and I'm going to have to pick up my armor. Yeah, just a little thing that I need to take care of real quick before we can do this. On there is a date, or a time, and where I'm going to be. And just meet you there, and then you can make me the box.
Would you like to roll your pulse? The bonus dice? Oh, you will. Bill. You're me.
I have no of this.
Oh. Well, at least you have some wood. And you're untrained, correct?
Yes.
Fortunately, this is going to be quite difficult for you.
So, I have a 4. Will, so that's my roll right.
Right, you're going off his, yeah, you go off your will, like the will, and then you can bonus dice.
Not aptitude.
No. Aptitude is just as many tests you need before you can start having it as your legit skill.
Oh.
How many tests you need.
Now I'm
Yeah.
okay, so I got 4 using what's the bonus?
What's the bonus dice? Basically, for the situation, you are handing someone a piece of paper, and you're not directly lying to the person you're trying to lie to, so it's kind of at a little bit of disadvantage to figure out what the hell's going on. So that's where bonus dice is coming from. But it's still going to be quite difficult, because it's double the obstacle. It's going to be against his will, which is 4, but since you're untrained, it's double.
You said 3, right? What is it, bonus? 1. I don't know why I heard 3 there. Alright, I'm gonna use,
So once you get the 4 up to 3. Oh yeah, something else, like, because some of you guys just use magic now. You know how magic's already open-ended? You can spend fate points to reroll 1 failure on already open-ended dice.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I know, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
I thought you were saying like I had a song, and I was like, wait, I'm on training the song. That's another thing I wanted to do. I forgot that song.
Oh yeah, something about getting a ringing song. Oh, ringing song, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna use 2.
I don't think you record the what you
Actually,
said.
no, I'm not, because I've had to spell 3. Persona wants to speed up the dice.
Just don't forget also that to record the persona you spend into skills, so you know when you shapeshift.
I will do 1, just in case I get a 6.
I'm trying to keep track.
Yeah, Persona.
Remember to go over old podcasts, right? Keep track of when you guys see spending stuff in case you don't record. That actually could use a lot of shit. Oh no! Well, just trying to make it seem like what he's saying is saying. He's trying to get it, tell us to take care of.
Yeah, while at the same time writing notes
Yes.
Yay!
Well, Eurus folds up the note and puts it into his satchel, and just nods his head. It says, "Sounds fair, Lucius. I suppose we shall meet you at the assigned location as time comes then."
Yes. Thank you. And that'll be all then?
Yes, that's all for now. Take care of yourself. He nods, bows sort of, and walks away down the alleyway, his dwarven guards following him.
Well, he bows, that's just kind of like, butter my head a little bit, but I don't really bow my head.
He leaves you alone in the alleyway.
As he walks away, I walk down.
Okay.
Make it all cool.
Okay, well, as soon as you leave the alleyway, Teletos is upon you. Just, he walks up into your face as he was hiding in that alleyway, and he says, "So what was that all about, Lucius?"
Well, how can I trust you?
As well as you can trust a guard who's been sent to keep an eye on you because someone else doesn't trust you.
That's what you're going to be done.
I do need to know. Because you're planning things with the dwarves. That in itself is not a pill well swallowed.
I pat him on the shoulder, and I started to walk past him, and I said, come on, now, we can't all be racist.
It's not racism, it's simple observation. Dwarves in the city are consorting in nothing but mischief. To consort with them is to consort with the enemy.
The enemy. Who's the enemy again?
Chaos.
Chaos. So when Dwarven gold floods through the city and stimulates our economy, what do you say to that?
I'm not here to have an argument of politics, Lucius. I'm here to know what it is you are consorting with those dwarves.
So if you need to know, I'm having a custom team built, and it's a very big and important job, and they're going to make sure I have all those specifications now. And that's what I'm going to meet with.
And why did you feel you need to keep such a thing from me? Why lie? Why go into dark alleys with dwarves?
Well, I mean, it's not strictly legal.
Oh,
It's black market arms, technically. I mean, it is a game, but in my hands is a weapon. Remember that.
you're using magic to make such a weapon?
Do I look like a fool?
You like someone who understands. You don't want someone who understands. You don't look like someone who understands. Let's finish that sentence.
Understand what it is.
What you're dealing with. The fact that you're even making deals with dwarves shows me enough that you were still a youngling.
So he's older than me?
You can assume so. You don't know for sure. You guys all look the same age unless someone's like fucking centuries old. They don't look old. You know that Sylvanas is a good few hundred years older than you, but she looks about your same age. And younger than how tall you are.
We're very,
He's 67. He's not even in his 3 digits. He's a baby.
super baby.
I have like 40 more years of experience than you.
Lucius, I know that we aren't equals right now. I know you feel like you can't trust me, but remember, I'm still a little song for you. You can turn to us when you're in trouble, but you're not need to resort to such means.
Well, I tell you what, when being part of White Towers is more important than being a guard of this damn city, then we'll all. Like you go.
He follows you.
I go back to the lounge.
I mean, you see the blacksmith has polished up your armor a bit, cleaned it up, and touched it up. He turns to you and says, "Well, I've got nothing to do with this. That'll be, let's make it 10 gold."
Pick up my arm, and you bolt.
What?
with the
Breeze.
breeze. And is there any other pieces?
Boots.
I got breathing boots together.
Okay.
I'm just trying to like
That's a elbow room.
pick it up. I turn and I said, what is his name?
Teletus.
I said, hey man, Teletus, and just keep walking out of the
Whoosh, get back here. Hey!
I'm just keep walking.
Barkeep kind of, you notice that the barkeep kind of grabs Teletus's arm and says, hey, no one's getting a freebie in my shop. You better pay right now. Like, Teletus looks between him and you. And just,
He's looking at the back of my head.
yeah. He looks between the two and then just decides to defeat his side and starts to dig through a coin first.
As I turn the corner, I grip her arm real tight and I bolt off down the street around and out.
Would you like to make a speed test, please? We're actually both at -1 dice because we're wearing armor. Well, no, you're not wearing armor. You're pulling armor. We're both at -1 dice for the armor. Yes. Well, actually, I mean, so usually it's plus obstacle, and we don't take away dice in this game. So I would say we have to get rid of 1 success. Same dice, just get rid of 1 success. Because we're at normally plus rolls. No, you go. I got 1 success.
I got 2. I got to get rid of 1.
Both got 1 success.
Then we just stay.
I mean, you're defending, so basically, you quickly hear, you hear the fancy sounds of his arm as he tries to chase you down, but you keep a fair enough distance to where you're going to eventually lose him, running into the alleyways.
Where am I?
You were in the blacksmith shop, which is around the water district. You've been the water district is pretty big. You ran so far you found yourself in the air district where the nobles keep residence. Okay.
Once that is on, I'm going to check to see if the coast is clear.
You see people walking around, but you don't see teleporters.
And as fast as I can, I'm going to make my way to the door underground.
Alright.
As fast and sneaky as I can.
Alright. You try to keep out the watchful eyes. First, I'm going to tell you is 4 on 4, so you get difficult to test your speed. From 4 to 5, you need 2 difficults or 1 challenging.
Too difficult for 1 challenge?
Yes.
But I already have 1 challenge.
You got 1 more difficult now?
Well, no, I had 1 challenging. I guess I didn't realize how much I needed to level.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're at 5 now?
So I'm at 5 now.
Alright.
So
You're at 5 whenever you made that test, basically?
Yeah.
So you need 3 difficults and 1 challenging to get 5 to 6.
Cool. And what about 2 challenging?
3 challenging, 1 challenging and 3 difficult in order to get from 5 to 6.
Okay. And then I got the 1 for falsehood.
So for you to incorporate some of the spell and speed.
That was good.
Alrighty. It's good. Just a lot of shit. Just last session that I reminded me of. They're on my desk, actually. By my lamp. Right, so we should try to do a stealthy to sneak down to the kingdom. I'll give you an advantage die because you have escaped from Teletos and he's only really looking for you, so.
Okay, and stealth is made off of
Stealth is speed.
speed.
Yes. Speed with advantage die. This is versus test, 2 successes equal 1 success.
I'm training it, and I need 1 more level.
Oh, there you go.
I got 3, 1.5.
He got 5.
Oh, fuck.
Look, you know, fishing stealth. We need to go.
This would be insane.
You see, Telephos, but right before you get to like one of the main little tunnels that heads down below the kingdom, you see Telephos and a few guards heading your way. Oh,
Speed, or accelerate, speed, must be level 5, and high 5 aiming. So,
yeah, that's going to count to make you now training. I mean, now using stealth.
but I was still training it, like, this one would have been my 6th one, because I was thinking I had 4.
Oh, so you just would have got rid of the test for stealth just now.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fine. So we have basic success. You get
Started
started.
as a B2, right?
Whoever's half your speed.
Half speed, which, so the 2.
Yes. So stealthy. So then how many successes did you get then regularly? You got 5 still. Yeah.
He still got me, I just,
What do you roll? So yeah, difficult test is special. That's just what happened. Okie dokie.
Yay.
So you do see Telos and a few guards heading in your direction right before you get to make it down the tunnels. You see Telos saying, "Stop, Lucius, go no further."
I don't know, both. How many guards?
2 other guards. Oh yeah, you also just to add a little more flavor in the background, you've also noted a few wanted posters coming out, sprawling around Kingdom. Is that what the picture is of a dark figure wearing a cloak, and it just says wanted for bagging and resisting arrest. And there's not too high of a price on it, but good enough to where people start asking questions and stuff. But yeah, you noticed those posters sprawling about the past couple of weeks. Well, anyways, back to where we are.
He's behind him?
Yeah, he's behind you, heading in your direction with yours.
I'm gonna run.
Run
I'm
again?
gonna run.
Alright. Well, since he's got 2 people, it's a different scenario, so you get 2 advantages there if there are 2 people with him. And we're doing speed again! Got 3 successes.
Two.
Just spend a big point.
Yes.
Alright, you can remember that 2 paperwork. Let's go to your recording, actually. Alright.
How many days?
3. So, again, since you're defending, you barely get away.
Yeah.
Causes you to stop, but you bolts with your blood on your armor, and you again go through the dark and twisting alleys of the slums of the underground and lose them yet again. And you find yourself pretty much a short walking distance away from the mansion itself. It sticks out pretty well above. It soars on like a small little mountain above all the slums and trashy buildings and stuff. It's a grand cathedral of power and love.
What was the little thing?
Jurist.
How?
He said he was a jurist, an official recorder of another. Yeah, scribe, basically. He called himself a recorder, but yeah, same thing.
Okay. I guess I'll go over to front of the house.
Alright. Well, you see a few guards stationed
I'll go
above
up
the
to the
doors.
guards.
They don't really, if you go up to the front doors, they don't stop. You can just walk in. Well, as soon as you walk in, you're greeted by a, welcome, Master Elf. It's a dwarf, but she's dressed in very common clothes, almost like not really rags, but a step above that. And she bows vehemently to you It says, welcome to the family's mansion. How may I assist you?
Yeah, I'm here to see what was his name?
Yours?
I keep on saying yours. I'm here to see yours. Robert.
Master Yours? What is your business with them? What is your name?
My name is, please go get it, Mr. Urist.
Oh, well, I'm afraid that he didn't just see you on call. You must have some sort of business with them.
I do, and he's expecting at least.
Oh, all right, she says and hurries off. And you sit there and look around at the wondrous wonderment of the inside of the mansion. There's bunches of artwork of what looks like proud-looking dwarves and beautiful, like, art, like, paintings of the insides of, like, wondrous ruins and all sorts of stuff, like the architecture and... There are very few in number, but there's one of a battle between dwarves and those strange rat people you've been hearing about. It looks glorious. It's a big painting. Study it. Just look at it. It looks to be a great, wondrous battle. Its painting is large, like, it encompasses about, that wall right there, it's about, like, it goes to that entire wall, about, like, I don't know how big that, 8 feet wide, 5 feet tall. It's enormous. It takes up a good portion of one of the walls. It's like, because you're waiting in the big entrance hall, there's like a large staircase that goes off into floors and just admiring it all. The dwarves and the rat people will be in a really heated combat. However this artist is really an eye for detail. You see blood and severed limbs and all sorts of wondrous things in this painting. And you study it for a few minutes until you hear the hurried footsteps. And Master Elf, you're Lucius, correct? He'll follow me. He'll meet you down below.
Sure you will. I follow.
Alright, this humble servant leads you down on a turning hallway past the stairwell. It takes you down below. You go down like a pretty expansive spiral staircase, and she leads you through then a maze of hallways and doors that are no different from each other. And you don't know how she memorized this thing, but she leads you for quite a few minutes until becoming to a single door, looks different than the rest, with 2 dwarven guards on either side. She says, you'll be waiting right past the door. Yeah, it was Alright, you see on the other side is you've been having to stoop most of your way through all this because, you're pretty tall and these hallways and stuff are pretty small. There's no different. Yeah. It's really no different. It looks like it's a well-furnished, like, laboratory and workshop. You got, like, tables and vials and all this sort of stuff. And you see, seated in the center room is Boniface, his big form, sitting in a rather kind of small chair. He's been bound up, arms on the, legs on the legs. And there's two other doors kind of staying up at the right. And you see Urist also there, sitting by Boniface. You seem to have been talking to Boniface in hushed tones before turning to you. Oh, Lucius, it's the man of the hour. Or the elf of the hour, as is.
Yeah.
So I take you means you've agreed to the terms, and...
I really thought Boniface.
Oh yes, that's correct. Well, he's here presented before you.
This is your idea? For real?
Yeah, I mean, would you rather than grab an innocent off the street and have you go to them?
I mean,
Honestly, I'm glad they put so much thought into who to grab because at least I'm an important asset to the looking not killing. Honestly, they would grab just a random pedestrian that probably wouldn't mind yelling at them. They probably would grab the sickest piece of crap on the piece of the earth that there is.
Well, I mean, I think of a few unsavory people out there that deserve it.
But I mean, the scream of the tortured soul, and it has to be someone who's not. Just put it this way, what we're doing balance. That's how my understanding works. It's a balancing act. And what you want to be tortured is really a savory action. So we have to gather the ingredient from someone who is savory. The priest.
You're into Americans in there?
Possibly. I mean, I like to torture, so I can learn myself a little Americans.
And did you choose me?
No, I said, I just told them to find something to do with it. They were concerned that they didn't find someone who would do an ass job, but they were also concerned that they didn't find someone who would take so much pleasure in it and would want to kill me. So I guess you're a pretty logical choice in that regard. You really don't want to kill me, I don't think. And,
At least it doesn't serve his best interest to kill you.
no, I'm really talking to this. I mean, I know we're friends and all, and you're a cool guy, but kind of like private conversation, man.
Well, you're kind of doing it in not private ears. We're all standing here.
I'm
So
outside of the chair, so.
So, let me get this straight. I have to torture you.
Yeah.
you don't have to, but
For how long?
Until we achieve a sufficient amount of streams. I mean, the more you have, the better chances we have of making a successful staff for you. And the better quality one, the better quality staff. You really want a good guttural one. You want me to think I'm dying.
Thanks, Director.
Yeah. I'll let you know if you're doing a shit job.
we don't have any tools you may require. Here it says indicating a small table beside the chair where you see an assortment of fun little tools you get to use on
Yeah.
poor monitors.
If I can make a suggestion, please don't do anything too permanently. Maybe some superficial scars and mental trauma, nothing physically permanent. Listen, we can't hide under a rope. There's no point in keeping that under that.
Hey, we don't make it too obvious.
So,
Nothing on the hands, please. As you probably would guess, the trader's hands are very valuable hands. We were
Yeah, thank you.
this is why we chose you, Lucius.
Thank you. Oh, come on, no one else uses the way that thing.
You didn't do anything.
you're very joyous. Did you do something? You're joyous about me.
No,
I'm about to be tortured, so, you know, we'll try to look like the side of life.
Okay. Are we going to, am I actually about to torture him? Or are you saying?
You're gonna torture him. You're gonna go through the motions, man. You gotta pick your tools. I don't want to do it.
Give me a sheet of paper.
Sheet of paper.
Look, if you're not up to it, I'm not going to force you.
You gotta do it. This is my supply list.
That's not very good advice at all.
So, Boniface, we've been looking over the items you've created so far. Like I've said, dwarves are not familiar with the art of enchantment. Are you sure some of these things will do the things you say they will?
It's kind of a jumble up since everything will do anything they say.
You know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm just saying. I'm hoping for you, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably about to have a red hot poker in my rib cage in about 2 minutes.
I'm just curious as well. We've received a rather plain sword, small copper piece tied to a string, and
In terms of not what you see physically, it's taking the mundane and making it into something great.
I suppose I'll take your word for it.
I mean, seriously, if you want a fancy looking sword, give me the fancy looking sword and I can hand it for you. The quality of the looks are purely flavorful. I mean, the copper piece I used is like, I mean, you know, I'm not exactly wealthy, man. I can't afford to give these guys the highest quality crap. In fact, the walking stick that I'm using for torture is my own goddamn walking stick. It's my personal property, and I'm giving it to him because that's all I got.
It's all nice of you.
right?
Imagine you. I'm sorry. But once it's made, it's mine.
But yeah, what I'm saying is, I mean, if you want some fancy looks to go with your fancy enchantment, you gotta call up the fancy thing in the middle.
Oh, that wasn't I wasn't trying to lead you into saying exactly. The whole lot of this was to see your natural talent. Thing. We were going to hand over our more wealthier items, and you just half-assed it, and it turned out crappy.
Well, I understand completely. What I'm saying is, only way is to test them out. Why don't you have some of your guys that you can try?
That's just nice.
We'll
It
see.
should be all I need.
There's still much questions about what could happen in the future. This is all hypothetical speaking.
I understand.
He looks over the list and watches one of the doors over and shows it to them. And the answer is George just nods, takes the note, and hurries out. Here says that he should be back momentarily, so until then, I guess.
So you're gonna leave you waiting? It's gonna be all a surprise.
You will tell me. I can't imagine it would help me.
Well, I was just here to see that Boniface was comfortable. I'm afraid I'm a very busy dwarf, so.
No, I was even gonna have you stay in.
Comfortable
I want everyone out of the room.
Well, I'm afraid we're gonna need a few doors to keep Boniface stable. You see, we don't have chairs that can just.
I know what I'm doing.
We're gonna just be taking precautions. Someone needs to hold the jar to his mouth in order to take in the screams. I'll let you doors keep careful. Have a few medics stationed just outside, just in case.
How many people will it take to hold the jar?
One. We got one door for the jar, two to keep Boniface steady, and a few medics just outside the room.
That's what the strap for to hold them in place.
It won't keep the chair in place, so you just decide to squirm around.
Those are probably good boys.
Like you're going on the bank.
It's just precautions.
I will say that I never told people, right? Never told them.
Fight on this.
Define fight.
Have you hit someone and they hit you back and then you hit them in?
Yeah, but I mean, that was that was Corvus. I hit him off.
You're good.
Well, we wish you both best of luck. I'm afraid I know something like departure. He nods, bows, and steps out.
My hands out of this.
Well, it's only you missed said that the dwarf from before returns with a small crate, and he places it at your feet before going over to one of the desks and picking up the jar with the lid. And the two dwarves standing behind the chair come up to close, one hand on each shoulder, one hand on each arm. And just look, the three of them look on you to decide what to do first. Or how to proceed.
Oh, if only there were electricity. Okay.
Or is it magic?
Open up a crate.
Alright, you see that it contains all the necessary items you have requested.
Like the dagger that has a jagged edge.
Alright.
Serrated, nice. High quality shit there.
And I'm going. How is this in a crate? Also, how is this in a crate? How are these in a crate? How are those in crates? In a crate?
The water is in one of those like water skins that feels very hot to touch. The fire pit. What's a fire pit? Exactly. Can you describe it to me real quick?
Fire pit is like a pit of sand and rock that you build a fire in.
Stones around it.
There'll be a cauldron that's filled with such things to make it a fire pit.
Light up a fire pit.
Alright.
And put the iron rod in about halfway. So that's what you know.
Alright.
Oh, great. How long time for a fire? It's about 2 minutes.
I'm going to obviously grab the boiling water first. I I'm going to kind of hold that.
Basically, mechanically, how good he does will give you advantage, I assume, when you get to your enchanting with this thing. Just so you know, that's
Am I rolling forward right now, or am I?
Yeah, you're rolling forward.
I'm gonna roll damage, right?
Yeah, you're going to be taking damage, he's going to be rolling fortune. We'll see where that goes.
I have D2 torture, 14 in my road
Yes.
and observation, which I don't know.
Yes.
And
Basically, your obstacle is going to be 1, and for every success over the obstacle will bump up the damage he takes. And the more he gets hurt, the better streams you're going to get. So keep that in mind. You bitches are high reward.
I'm not going to pay as much attention. When he said, okay. Alright, I grabbed the knife, boiling water, and also, just to add on the list, small piece of wood.
Small piece of wood, okay.
I'm gonna grab the liquor first.
Actually, let me do this sort of like this. Tell me your task and intent with these individual things, and I'll determine the obstacle based on that.
So the first thing I want to do after setting a fire pit,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab the hard liquor and the small wood piece. I'm gonna walk over to Boniface. I'm gonna pop a cork. Grab like chin, jaw, like 4 feet of good alcohol.
Go.
And then that's like before he needs anything, put it in his mouth and tell him to bite him.
Okay. So what's your, well, tell me your task and intent, like,
The intent is
how much you want to hurt him, and what way you wish to hurt him.
well, in this way I'm not really hurting him so much as
Okay, this is just, you gotta say you're doing this. Like your first torture practice.
This time, I like hold on with pieces and mouth and kind of push the side of the tongue.
I'm moving back into this. I'm going to, I got a dagger, and I'm start cutting into, like, this is a chair, can't cut into this bad.
Well, I mean, I guess you could do it as a roll, like cut his roll off, and then you have access to his flesh.
So bad.
Where are you gonna cut exactly?
I'm not thinking now because I don't have access to his back.
Oh, yeah.
Cut the roll, that's how we're doing it, holding it down.
True, I don't want you to I don't know, that could be like a negative modifier.
It just be like his power versus their power, basically.
2 dwarves, like on my arm, 1 dwarf on my arm, 1 dwarf on my leg.
Cut the ropes, tell the dwarves to land him down like that.
Dwarves do that. This is quite a big man that they're trying to handle. So the dwarves do their best. There's one on the arms and one on the leg, but they're very small people. It's kind of keep these big guys down.
I'm going to like put my boot on the bag's left shoulder blade and like cut in to like the meat of like shoulder blade above the shoulder blade. Maybe straight it down. I don't know. And then pouring the boiling water directly into the meat.
Alright, so how much do you wish to hurt him through this carving into his flesh? Are you trying to like pull it back a little bit, or are you trying to just hack it in?
I'm not
trying to be
like close to the bone. I'm
trying to be like careful about it.
Yeah, and then like,
Alright.
just to get into the meat of the bit, and then
So I'll add one to your obstacle, trying to be careful. And let's, base 1, I'll add 1 onto that obstacle. This is obstacle 2 now, trying to be careful around his flesh. And you just pour water, so yeah, it's obstacle 2 to, boiling the water. So it's obstacle 2 to get what you're after, basically. Alright, tell me what your task and intent was doing this. So I can tell you appropriate failure.
task. you gotta cut into the meat for the.
So you're trying to avoid doing something bad to him by cutting into his back. You're trying to avoid the sensitive areas, right? Like bone
Yeah,
and
I'm
muscle.
avoiding burning muscle, and the intent is to gauge how much it hurts him if we lost him.
Alright, Boniface. You feel the knife go into your flesh, and you hit it. It obviously hits a few nerves in your back. It's piercingly painful to you. The dwarves, and you're gonna have to make an obligatory power test against these two dwarves as you struggle against the pain really fast.
My power is 4.
Theirs is gonna be 5, and bonus because there's 2.
It's not on my opening anyway.
No.
So I got 2.
Alright, they got 2. So you, Boniface is screaming and he's thrashing, and the dwarves are finding it hard to keep him on the ground. Because, like I said before, he's a big guy, there's 2 small people trying to keep him down. He moves around and you pour the water into him as he thrashes. Boniface, please take a B5 wound. That's all? Okay, you are at
That's a V5.
yes,
Damn.
because you hit something really bad in his back.
Well, that's a lot of screaming.
There's a lot of screams. There's a dwarf. He's trying his best to like his head's moving around. The dwarf's trying to follow the shark.
Like Hulk out, just like
I don't want to do this anymore.
But yes, it seems that you don't even know if this is not any appropriate screams the way he's thrashed around. And yeah, so you means you're at -1 die for basically everything. Your stats and your skills.
Jesus.
Not your attributes, this all stays the same, but this stuff and then this stuff is at -1 die, so you get that one fixed up.
What would a medium wound do to me?
-2 dice,
Severe 3.
traumatic 4, and mortal you're dead.
Oh, but you do get 1 roll when you're dead.
Mortal wounds means you die. If you spend a persona point, yeah, if you spend a persona point, you will live. You still have to.
What's your mortal wound threshold?
B10.
Alright, so you're pretty sure that this is not enough to get what you're requiring after you kind of fuck this
I
up.
do have a question.
Yes.
Am I getting a total check every time?
You get to pick from the torture tests I give you.
So, are you keeping?
Yeah, we're trying to
I
get them.
did a 3-on-2.
Yeah, so that would be a routine. So far, you have a choice between routine and then whatever else you get. So one routine so far.
Routine, difficult, challenging.
Yes.
3 of them.
So one routine. Alright, what do you want to do next? The dwarves, he's thrashing around, the dwarves are doing their best.
Okay, I'm going to.
But unless you put him in a different position, you don't believe the dwarves are going to be able to keep still enough for you to receive the screams after. He's just too strong with them.
Roll them over, sit them up, but keep them on the ground.
Alright,
I'm going to grab a small handful of salt, throw it into the.
into his attack.
Yes.
Alright, that will be an obstacle 1 torture. Alright. You don't receive any pain from this Boniface. I mean, what you mean, like, you know, this kind of pain wounds, you just feel a burning pain into your back, and the dwarves continue to try to keep you steady as you scream.
Yeah, 4 power. I got power because of the.
Yes, you get power 3 damage, right? If the conditions have changed, you keep that wound, so you can't do a reroll on power to keep steady.
Oh, wow.
2. Alright, they got 2. Boniface screams with all his might, like, the dwarf struggle keeping them steady. The dwarf is still struggling with screams. You think that maybe each time a little bit of the screams and down in the jar, but feel like this rate is make a few more portion to get the full capacity required.
You should have really done a good job.
First thing I'm going to do,
Damn, I can't stop.
I'm going to slap both of the ones holding me in the back of the head, like pretty damn hard. I'm going to tell them to hold still. Like, hold still, god damn it!
You see the size of this man?
Hold him still!
Get some of the dogs in here. We need more help.
I need more things from the rules.
Things.
More things.
What do you require?
Basically, a giant wooden frame and sit completely still on its own that has chains. That's a few in my mouth.
I think they're gonna have anything in the wall to begin with.
I don't want anything from the wall because I want to hit his back.
So you're gonna.
My back's very good sensitive torture.
Alright, well, this is gonna take some time, so,
But, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing some little things.
unless you want to tend to his current wound while they're going to catch this. Because he has B5.
Yeah,
They'll
before I do that,
be mad coming in here.
before I do that, I kind of like put way too much pressure on the wound. Like grab and kind of like into it a little bit.
Or another obstacle.
Not really digging into it, but like pressing pretty hard. Just sorry, I have to. I'm trying to do it. Like my plan after.
You're just gonna dig into him.
Yeah, not dig, but like press pretty hard with like ligaments.
The cuts
They're gone to
like
fingers.
Yeah.
so it's pushing his fingers inside like the open area.
Yeah. I'll say that as another obstacle to torture. Alright. You press into him, but Boniface's body seems to be naturally reacting to this full amount of pain. He grits his teeth instead of screams at the pain.
I'm very.
You feel like, this guy's a big dude, but I don't know if it's for muscle or fat. What do you think? What do you more, fat or muscle?
He's mostly. He's not. I mean, he's not.
Like haggard.
Yeah.
You don't. He's like, not fat.
Not really fat.
But not really, like, really built. Like, he's not like.
He's just really big.
Yeah.
He's naturally.
So you dig into his, like, into the wound, but, like, kind of just pressing against his muscle, so it's not really. Like, Boniface isn't really getting enough. He's not screaming at this point. He's just gritting his teeth. But, alright.
Oh, you're a professional. I am checking wounds.
So, did you do anything?
Yeah.
Wise? There's a few dwarf medics out there who would just call them in to help you.
Oh, I see how I know basic surgery.
Alright.
Feels like maybe drinks more like you're talking about the sodas.
Yeah, I'm like pour out on the wound, disinfect. We learn to get the salt.
There's a special skill that dwarves have involving treating injuries. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Sorry.
Like you say, blood rage for blood rage.
So the two female dwarves coming in dressed in, they have, masks on and, like, gloves, and they look really clean and professional. And they come over to the back and forth and begin dressing the wound and making sure that, like, cleaning up the blood, and they spend a lot of their time dressing it before actually getting down to work.
I love those just like you got the short women.
You know, you are one tough son of a bitch. I don't know, I think I've done much yet, but you can't move so much.
Sorry. I just
It hurts.
I'm not used to this.
Alright, are you gonna help them with this?
Yes.
Alright, so they have base 5, she gets a helping knife from the other dwarf, and from you to treat this light wound. Obstacle 2, so what's your, surgery?
Beaver.
Yes, also helping. So
Really?
Yep. So you get, 3 on 2, right? Yep, yes. Surgery. Alright, let's see what it is.
I'm not asking some of the crazy questions.
Here we go. It's got 3 successes, there's going to be 8 more. No, 2 successes, but successes. 2 obstacles. So that means you get to, make a health test versus obstacle 2. You get advantage dice because they got one over their obstacle. So, roll your health. No minus or is there anything, but 1 advantage die.
Is this like your system that you made for you?
No, this is in the book.
Yes, it's a tell.
So plus 1 for advantage die.
I got 4.
So yeah, you get rid of it. Don't forget to get tests for health, which is a routine, and also your pain. Subsides.
Power. And also while waiting, I drink banana.
Okay. Well, the surgery, Kurgi is what we're called. You guys know that. Kurgi. Very weird. Basically, it's like surgery because dwarves are especially keen in precision learning. Kurgi? Kurgi. Is that something like a thing?
No, but it sounds better.
Anyways, about the time that, no, you're fine. About the time that the moons tend to date, a few, like, a good 5 or 6 dwarves come toting the wooden bars and the chains to set up Boniface's new predicament.
Alright. So,
It's taking,
all set up.
yeah, it's taking a few hours for them to arrive. The surgery lasts a couple hours, and then they arrived about a few, like 30, 40 minutes afterwards. You assume probably it took them quite a time to find this thing, whatever it is, like they didn't have it already.
So that's what we're seeing about like the evolution. Oh yeah, one more new rule. No jump stuff.
They also set up a step ladder.
Ball hat.
They also set up a step ladder for the dwarf with the jar to get up to reach up to his face.
How acrobatic are you, dwarf?
Well, as long as no one shakes the ladder, it should be fine.
You could be on top.
Like on my shoulders.
No, on top of the rack. And hold it down to his face without a phone.
He
So
looks
that you're
up.
not in my way.
Well, this is more of your kind of thing, isn't it? I ain't exactly the most agile.
Get on the ladder. Get on the ladder.
I'm on the ladder!
Well, yeah, you guys like a man. Hold the door to him. No, because you gotta.
Come on, this is.
No, it's not going to be screened.
Well, I mean, it depends. You really try to hurt him, get a roll for it.
No. This is more like
Well, I'm not to the wind.
Wait, I just said that instead of just uppercutting you, I palm you in the soul.
Can we get on with it now? It's kind of making me uncomfortable, you know.
You think you're uncomfortable?
I want to push. You're not naked.
I am not pretty naked.
I'm uncomfortable naked. That's just awful.
Well, especially since you bought that,
Yeah, that's what I was really getting at. Anyway. Alright.
Maybe let's just make this a separate video. It's getting almost the 3 hour mark. I might as well make this a separate video. Well, it's only like 2 hours and 50 minutes. 40 minutes. Well, this has been an hour or so since the hour we've already had with Boniface's Enchantment. I'll just make this video Boniface's Enchantment and then have a separate suicide squad session. This is like a session almost. Anyways, what are you doing next?
Grab the iron rod.
Okay.
I fired it. It's like white hot. And go around behind and do 3 really quick, hard hits for the ribs.
Ah.
2 on the left, 1 on the right.
Alright then. Well, so what is your task intent by doing this?
Task is to crack, not break, ribs,
Okay.
while also getting searing surface pain. But like I said, I don't want to break ribs.
So we're breaking this.
Yeah. Crack, I'm going to go with that. Break it?
No breaking.
No break.
I'm going to make this a little more difficult and do you're doing multiple swings. So I'm going to make this an obstacle 3 test.
I was about to start using my observation. This is not working out so well.
Yeah, for some 2, I don't have that many, but if you want to add
One left.
oh really, you spent them?
I spent 2 of them already. This session.
Oh,
So I'm going to have 3 left.
okay.
That's good.
very rusty. Alright, Boniface.
So I'm guessing
He seems to not be holding back at this point. He wails into you with this iron pipe, and you feel the physical trauma of your ribs snapping in your own body. And the dwarf looks uncomfortable at this point. He's left from pain. Alright, I like you taking a black 6 wound from these things. So it's still technically a light wound. You sturdy man. Sturdy. This is not like, the dwarf tries his best to angle the door on your head. Your head is going in 3 different directions as you scream. The dwarf looks at you and says, I don't know how much this guy can handle.
let me do my job.
Now you're southern now?
I'm out. Let me do my job, or
Alright. Look, I don't know much about trapping screams and jars, but I mean, most nothing to
job day.
I feel like if this goes badly one more time, we should still be able to pay him off. I've been having this jar in his face a few seconds at least.
I do. You shut up.
Oh,
I mean,
just for your one, by the way. 4 all 3 is a difficult test for torture. So you have a choice between 2 difficult so far.
I'm going to, since water's not boiling anymore, I'm going to dip the dagger into the water and then into the salt. And then I'm going to cut from just under the collarbone, like in a diagonal line, like down to the cheeks, but not like a D cut, just like a slice.
Alright, let me see. I'm going to look up torture real quick, just to help me. Here.
Really,
Yeah.
obviously,
Alright, torture. Well, that isn't close, right? But officially, the book says the obstacles equal to the victim's will or force, whichever is higher. If successful, the victim submits or gives exactly what the torture stated in his head. So basically, you're just trying to...
I'm torturing torture.
Yeah, you're trying to find a good enough scream out of him.
Well, my will and my force are both 5.
Is my one now because of the lightning window?
Yeah, that's really fun.
So you're up to 4 now to do this thing. I will say that you get advantage because you're not trying to hurt him.
You're not trying to get me information. You're trying to get
When you scream, they get advantage dice. Actually, we'll get 2 advantage dice because it really is just getting screams out of the guy.
That's what it's all about. So, yeah, I'm cutting from the collarbone to the
Gotcha.
bag, but I'm not making bruises.
Oh, you got 6!
That's open-ended. Just now.
Oh,
We're gonna go with the
6 on 4 is a routine. Okay. This is Bruce. Alright, well, Boniface, Lucius takes the knife and cuts down your body from your shoulder to your hip. And the blood's starting to pool out of you. You feel like, again, you have gone a little too deep than he had intended. Once you take another black 6 wound.
Because I'm on 2. I can take one more and then I got my pasties.
Actually, this might be, okay. So just another, I would say this is X. Because usually you don't, like, pass out or fade away, so one of your, stats goes to 0. So you're at negative 2 dice. The lowest thing you have is a 3 in your speed, so that's still at 1. But yeah, you're
Speed on, like if I pass out.
yeah, you can say you pass out of the pain at that point. Usually you can do something like, oh, your speed's gone, that means you can't move, like you already can't move. Well, I mean, that could work though. Maybe your speed's down because you just
I'm maybe not physically
exhausted.
exhausted.
Yeah, so you are so conscious, but you can't flail around during the torture process anymore. Right, so you said negative 2 for all things. The door again does its best, but does not get a lot of screams out of well, you're flailing around too much.
I need you to keep your head still so we can get this done.
Or stop catching screams.
Look, I'm a dwarf on a set ladder trying to get screams to a job. I'm doing the best I can, damn.
Why are we all like that?
Dwarves have gravelly voice.
Okay, while they're doing that, I grab a fistful of salt, throw it into the wound.
Open the door.
Yeah, more, like my past, or my intent is more just to like keep blood from us, keep flowing to open.
Yeah,
salt will help.
really it does that, and this isn't like, Boniface doesn't really scream from this as much as like, you probably don't want to, he just
Yeah, no, I'm slowly like keeping them from bleeding out.
you can grow that the pain is really like dull compared to everything else that's happening to him.
The iron rod. Yeah, the iron rod. Oh, okay. I grabbed a small mallet and the points like a little I put it into the fire, get it nice and hot. Then I go to the back, or to the side of the cat, and I just like push the spikes in, and you.
Right, what is your 4 now minus 2 dice? I got up to those 3 with the advantage dice again for, you know, trying to get screens.
36.
Oh, hey!
What did I need? Wait, I need the pen, right?
Technically, yeah. Spending a fate point. Hey,
Does that not have to reroll all these?
if you spend one fate point, you reroll all of those.
Can I reroll those two?
Bonus rolls, and this is because I don't need more control get freelance, but you just gotta be the opposite so you'll get what you want.
Well, no, I'm gonna make like, I have a better chance maybe on 2,
Down on 3.
but I don't know who to do it.
You'll overdo it. But my rules were having you overdo it, because it's well, you'll overdo it. So it's be the obstacle, everything works out wonderfully. Keep going! Alright. Finally, it seems Lucius hit his sweet spot and got into the flow of things, and
That's my weak spot. Who knew?
let's take a black 5 wound from this Boniface.
Well, that's 3 lights.
Yes, so you're at minus 3 dice, and as that happens, you feel your body limp against the pain, and you lose all will to struggle, and you just run out of scream, and the dwarf's ready, and he keeps the ball right over your face, and you scream into this bottle, and so you just run out of lung space, and the dwarf catches the top of the plate, and just fall off the ladder.
And then he breaks. I got that jar.
He holds the jar to his chest as he falls, and just falls to the floor.
If he broke the jar, the last time I said that I'm unconscious would be, oh, you in so much trouble. Like, I'm on his side and burning to his leg, I'm just like,
The door seems to fall off the table right off the ladder, sort of piss pure exhaustion. He just lands on the ground, clutching the jar of his chest. Yes.
So there's a skill called being tortured wise.
I give you a trait.
Pain threshold. Yeah, I
You
could
take
be.
it.
I could be.
That'd be a good trait to give you, though. Like, the next card. Can't take it. You go pass out.
Jesus, man.
You just feel your whole body just kind of give up as you just hang in
Is he
there.
like passed out or is he just like?
He's still conscious. He seems to have lost the will to move.
Honestly, they were gonna make sure I don't want to call it. I think you said when I broke my rib, but it's all that like.
Oh yeah, what was it? What did I spot? What did I say? It's so funny. Because you're sturdy.
You're sturdy man.
Thank you, sturdy man. You.
We got it recorded.
Let me write it down though, so don't forget it.
Right now, one.
You sturdy man. Because I think it's a good trick. Sturdy man. All right.
Tougher than everyone.
Well, Sandy Bell. So what you have is just the dwarf clutching jars and sits on the ground. Corvus is hanging where he is. Bob is hanging.
Get up! Get back on the ladder.
But I got the jar. I think it's good now.
Get up. And get back on the ladder.
Dwarf puts the jar on the ground and says, "No, we're done here. I'm tired of watching this guy get tortured by you. We're done."
I pushed him in the face.
Pushed him in the face.
Like a straight bottom of the boot to his face.
Alright, he's gonna try to catch that and he's gonna put his power over it.
What's his name?
4.
Hey guys,
One success.
I got 3 lives. As you can see, I need to open them
No,
now.
yeah, well, alright, you kick him in the face and he falls back on his ass, cutting his nose. What the hell was that for?
It would have the jar. He set it down right away. That's the only reason I came here.
You fucking crazy, you just see we got what we needed.
Get back on the ladder and hold up the jar.
Screw you, I'm gonna get the guards. He said, getting up to run out the door.
Grab the back of his collar and like throw him all over the ground.
So, you want to oppose his speed this time? He's a little slower when he gets thrown, so it's 3 arrows to you. Last fate point. Oh. 2 successes. So they went. Well, you try to grab him, he skirts under your arm and runs out the door, screaming, "Guards! Guards! Torturer's gone crazy!" And before long, you hear
What are
the
they able to do?
they left once you got all situated.
I didn't know they had
What did you leave them in one jar?
Okay.
But it seems like there's one who access the door, and they, 2 of them come in heavily armored with wielding
Is
hammers.
he sitting in the chair that he was in with the jar like between my feet and I'm just looking down at it while listening to the jagged dagger on my finger.
What the hell is going on in here, Elf?
Get him down there. Make sure the medics get him right away.
The doors look between each other and say, "What's all this about? You're going crazy and trying to hurt more."
Is that a little crazy?
The doors look again between each other. Yeah, a little bit. Covered in man's blood.
You hate your species. Are we done here?
Yeah, we'll get some people kicking them out. You're gonna wait here a while, though.
I step up to him and say, who's gonna eat me?
Well, the entire other guard of the family if you're still there.
I'm curious. How many of you are there?
More than there are of you.
How many do you think I can get through?
Not enough.
I bet I can make her.
We can make her more.
YOLO!
YOLO! The one door stays behind, the other goes off, and soon after you get off the station, more doors come in and become let off his bounty. He just kind of collapses, and they're already ready for the weight of it, and he kind of just falls in them and they struggle underneath the massive mass of Boniface. They kind of set him down on the ground. And if you, the next come over and begin to start working on his multitude of wounds. I'm gonna do that now. Okay.
Damn you wars and stupid little visions.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
His wounds are green, he's bleeding out. He's falling.
Okay. Oh, one more.
There's just a dwarf standing on. I'm in the chat.
Alright. 3 health tests for you on this. 2 of them. The first 2 you get +1 advantage die for them having plus slow the obstacle. And the other last one having any advantage they actually didn't successfully help you out.
So what means I'm only healing on my
So,
little shield willpower.
yeah, I'm trying to think. First, I'm going to go to your most previous wound, which is probably
Just
the chest cut, the broken ribs. I'm trying to think your broken ribs and your chest cut are your broken ribs and the back end of your calf get the bonus dice. The chest scar, unfortunately, does not get the bonus.
Just one with the first one I wrote with it, I actually just
The health test is possible too.
okay.
So you get your point. The ribs, while
They'll heal.
they'll heal over time.
Alright, next one I got 4 successes.
Alright, so the thing in your calf gets better as it's treated and you're gonna get through it fine.
Last.
It's failed treatment. Yeah, your health is normal.
I only got 3 for the one that didn't even drop.
Alright, well, you feel like your body is just quickly leads you out of this mess. You don't have to put your hand. I think it's such a close. The doors open your natural hardiness. You feel you're going to make a little recovery in a short time. To get you on more negative dice. You feel woozy and weak, but if you're woozy and weak, you can stand up on 2 feet and think clearly.
It was just decent status on the
He seems to be okay though.
I will throttle you. Now, just so we get this. I don't know.
Yeah, pick whatever you want.
Well, what do you got for
Okay. E2 to E3, you need 2 teams, either 1 difficult or 1 challenging.
2 routines and 1 difficult?
Or 1 challenging.
What the fuck? I already had that.
Yeah, keep track of that.
Okay, for surgery, B3, B4.
3 to 4, you need 3 routines, you need 2 difficult or 1 challenging.
Son of a bitch! This is terrible.
No,
I need to keep more track, better track. 3 routines, 1 difficult or 1 challenge.
2 difficult or 1 challenging.
Or 1 challenge, got 1 challenge.
3 routines.
So I'll get rid of those. I just got a routine now.
That's a legitimately leveled up one.
Yeah. Torture, however,
Has been
what
leveled
do
up.
I need to go from here before?
3 routines and 2 difficult or 1 challenging.
I'm gonna take it on difficult.
Right. Did we keep track of your health tests bonus? This is all countable. We need to pick one of those
Yeah.
if you want.
I also did the power.
That's true. What was your power roll? His was 4.
5 on 4.
5 on 4.
Routine.
Yeah, that one.
Difficult, I guess.
5 on 4 is, yeah, difficult test. Because only the difficult challenge is countable towards stat upgrades. And then 2 was 3.
So,
Your routine doesn't matter.
and what do you need for level power? Or any stat, I guess.
You just need a necessary amount of the difficult challenge tests.
B6.
3 difficult and then 1 challenge.
For routine, like, I don't know,
Just give them 2 tests then from the the series.
It's like a level 6 in mana.
Oh, that's true. Alrighty then. Yeah, you really heard. You want to put your note? Okay.
Alright, just take my shit in.
Well, a few of the dwarven guards offer Boniface food and drink in order to help Sloan's recovery if he so desires, and the comforts of upstairs.
Upstairs.
Yeah, for the dining hall.
The second one.
That's downstairs.
You go upstairs on my downstairs.
She is mother.
I was only there like a little way. It's coming all the way there. And yeah, I'm almost like when you order a cab or something, you just come all the way there. You want it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Passing out and you soma or
Alright, so do you accept their offer to go refresh yourself?
no, I'm just
Sit
leave me
there.
on the ground.
They'll leave one of the dwarves to attend to you as see fit some of our civilization to watch over you. A few of the guards go to Lucius, and one of them says, Rowan III would like to speak with you, which is Rowan III, one of the mother's dearest sons. They nod and lead you out of the room. They lead you through more of these spiraling maze-like hallways to another similar-looking room, and just sit outside the door waiting for you to let yourself in. Yeah, okay. You see quite a disturbing sight. There is a dwarf, like you might expect, but there also is a few people. A couple of them look like starved humans. Even a couple like orcs. They're chained up on the walls, and some of them are conscious and quietly sob to themselves. Some of them look either dead or unconscious.
By the way, I'm not saying that's sort of dramatic.
Would you like to make me a self-check then? Versus the observation shows the God brother thing. You notice there's more than one of them.
What do I? Stealthy?
It's stealthy versus their observation.
D2 and I do observation 4. Watch them and watch me to make sure. And roll.
One. Yeah, good success. They basically see you still holding the knife and ask you to please drop it with the other items you were provided for the belongs to the family.
You let me carry my sword.
Yes, you can communicate your sword over for the knife belongs to us. Well, if you really want it so bad, you can get paid for it, though if you want money right now, we ask you leave the knife and then you come later with the money.
How about we work out a deal? I will do something for that.
What sort of deal?
I mean, is there anything in particular you need to do? It's not too much for getting a knife.
The dwarf kind of laughs to himself. It says, if you really want the knife so bad, all he needs is a few coins. Maybe you could, I don't know, take my shift for tomorrow night. All you do is I guard the mansion. Do that and we'll swear.
I'll do it. But I just order insurance that.
Alright. Meet me tomorrow night. Meet me tomorrow night at around, let's say, 6 o'clock behind the mansion itself, and I'll tell you what you need to do.
Good.
Alright. Let's take the knife.
Still slipping in the back.
Okay.
Also, bro.
Ooh, that would be good.
You want to do the also?
No.
Okay. Alright, so fast running back inside this crazy dungeon room. You see these people lined up. You see a table with instruments lined up of all sorts of certain cultures, items in there that the dwarf seems to be poking and prodding on the dead and unconscious orcs with like a small pitchfork kind of tool. And as the sound of the door creaking open, he turns to you quick, like he's been caught in the act. But he's wearing like a mask, like a little surgical mask over his face. He's a dwarf. He's dressed in like an apron and all sorts of fancy. He seems to very, very clean despite the gory mess all around him. And he, oh yes, Lucius! Yes, Lucius, hello! He pulls down his mask and you see the usual like holes and nose and beard. The beard itself is red, like it's blood red, but you see the color of the hair, that color of his hair. If you're here, that means you must be young, right?
Yeah. By the way, you're not really going to get much answers out of someone's unconscious or dead.
I was just trying to, I was just having some fun. That's okay, that's whatever. Anyways, yeah, so, how'd it go?
It went as tortures usually do.
You get what you needed?
Let me rephrase. It went as tortures usually go for me.
I see. How do you usually go over here?
It worked.
Oh, good. I hear this screams from here, by the way. Nice stuff. It was a pretty good shark. It gets such screams out of someone like that guy. He looked like he'd take a hit. It must have been tough.
Nice. Very sure.
But you're probably wondering why I'm asking you here.
Yeah, I'll have to drop one.
Well, honestly, I just wanted a simple conversation. You know, you might not know me. I'm Wayne the Third.
I'm going to teach you torture.
No.
Because I'm not.
No, you're fine. It's just a simple conversation. I'm a dwarf. I'm one of the mother's sons, but I don't stand out as much as my older brothers. Kind of blend in, but kind of what I do. Kind of what people seeing.
Up and down as you see things.
I just wanted to talk. I never met anybody quite like you. Well, really, a fellow torturer quite like you. I don't get to really talk with people who share an interest in such a thing. It's nice.
Torturing is not an interest. It's a necessary evil.
You might think that now, but come give it some time. Have some fun. Get some people off the street and take them to your little dungeon and poke and prod them. See what you can get them to reveal. It doesn't really matter what they reveal. The point is that you get them to reveal something. Anything. Something you want to tell other people. It's wonderful. I love it. I live for it.
That's torture without a goal.
Does torture need a goal?
Yes, that's the whole point of torture.
You might think that, but it's different for me.
But, can I take a guess?
You may.
You're how old?
I haven't thought about that. I'm about 178, I think now.
178. And by looking around at, well, in some cases these bodies, and in some cases, I don't know what that is. You're not well versed in torture, are you?
It's a newfound hobby, I'll admit, but I love it. I'm passionate. Well, that's what counts.
See, torture, like you said, is art. And art has purpose.
The deed does. Makes me feel good.
That is not the point. torture. The point of torture is connecting the dots, point A to point B, and making the line in between.
And
It's
you
not about going from point A to having no point and just having an endless line.
As you say, it sounds very calculated and very gray. You're saying it as if torturing somebody should provide the torturer no enjoyment whatsoever. So we should take emotion completely out of the equation when performing such beautiful art on these people?
You have to.
I see no reason to.
You can't perform the perfect torture when your emotions are involved.
So you can look me straight in the face and tell me you don't enjoy stabbing someone with a knife, rubbing salt into an open eye wound. You can't say that brings out some sort of primal enjoyment, having the power over these people to do with them what you will. You cannot say that rushes the blood, fuels the fire in your soul.
Falsehood, no.
Roll a falsehood for me, please.
What is falsehood off of?
Will.
Well,
Yes, it is.
4.
His will is 4, so again, doubled it. You're still training, right? Okay, 8. Up
This is the last one I need.
There you go, sir. You wish to spend a fate point to get
Should not have rolled it like that.
Well, you still got 3 successes, but I'm sorry to say, it's not enough. Royan chuckles and says, I see that twinkle in your eye. You can't hide it from me. You can preach all you want about getting from point A to point B, but all it really boils down to is the enjoyment. There's so many more efficient ways to get answers out of people. The torture is for the torturer, the person doing the torture. That's the whole
Torturer.
point. Yeah. The whole
I can't
point.
imagine the torturer likes it much. That's just sticky.
That is the point of it.
Look,
You may sit on your high horse, my good master elf, but do it enough times and I feel you'll see it my way.
what'd you call me here for?
To have this conversation.
Right.
And perhaps, maybe if you're interested, we could maybe meet here a few times. Maybe share more ideas, share more interests. Maybe, have some fun. Never really had a partner to share in my interests with. Certainly not an elf. But I'm a very open-minded guy.
What's the most painful place you can hit someone, dwarf?
Well, as I said, I'm new to this, but I found that striking a man in the groin does quite a good bit of pain.
No.
Similarly, when a woman is pregnant, she tends not to like it when you stab into her stomach. It's a good mixture of physical and emotional pain.
See, you've got it all wrong.
Oh?
First off, you can hit a man in his nuts. It's more shock pain than it is actual pain. You want to hurt someone, you don't really want to stab into the stomach, but you want to nick it. That's the most painful way you can hurt someone.
The dwarf nods and considers this and turns and grabs a butcher knife from behind on the table and goes up to a chained man and does as you say. He nicks him in the stomach, and the man lets out a and you see just like blood and like acid kind of oozing out of his stomach. He just bends over and screams, and Rowan lets out a marvelous giggle as he claps his hands together. Lucius, that was great. That was wonderful.
I grab. He's like up like this?
The guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still screaming?
Yes.
Alright. I grab his shoulder. And I kind of put my hand on the side of his head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pull his shoulder to me, and then his face in the opposite direction so it breaks his neck
Breaks his neck.
and kills him. Yes.
All right. So you successfully snap the man's neck. Rowan says, "Oh, why'd you do that?"
Because like I said, torture is not pleasurable.
Hmm.
And as far as pregnant women are concerned, just so you know, the fear of torture does so much more than the torture itself.
But that's no fun. How can I have fun with that?
The point is not to have fun.
Well, see, this is where we disagree. I believe the entire point is the fun.
But trust me, you want to get answers, or you want to cause real fear, the fear of torture is more powerful than torture itself. When a
Then,
woman is carrying a child.
if answers are to be gained, I shall simply do that, and then, instead of release as I have promised, I'll just begin the torture. After the answers. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Except for the fact that you're killing a child.
Huh. It's not really a child, it's a disgusting little sack of meat and blood, still not even thoughtful, sitting inside a mother's womb.
You know, you were once a sack of meat and blood.
Yes, and I was fortunate enough to not be tortured by somebody.
All I'm saying is, you don't have to kill someone by torture. You don't have to kill the child either.
And all I'm saying is, what's the wrong in having a little fun while we do that?
It's not fun.
You may say this, Lucius, but I know you. Though our outsides might be completely different, I believe we're more the same on the inside than you might want to believe. This has been a very enlightening conversation. Perhaps if you're interested, we can have a little bit more down the road. We learn from each other.
I'll do that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do I just like come in and ask for you, or can
Yes, simply just knock on the front doors of the mansion and say you wish to see Rowan the Third, and they will more than likely lead you down here. Try to
So can
keep
I-
this whole thing on the down low. I do not want my public image smeared by such things as this, and if you tell anyone, I'm afraid I'll have to have you killed. Nothing against you, of course. I can't have this getting out. People don't yet understand the beauty of my art.
Let's see. Well, I'm not one for talking, so
As you are, Lucius.
alright. Now what?
Now,
Like, what are my options? Am I like being escorted around?
they'll be escorting you out unless you want to stay.
I want
Your business is technically done with them.
I want to be done with them, and I want to go to the church.
The church. All right. Well, you are escorted out, and you make your way to They have a human church. I don't know if you're interested in going to that one. For the Watcher, they have a small chapel set up in the air district with all the noble human settlements all around. Is that where you wish to go?
What's the other one?
There is a more popular one for the Church of Gar, the god that Garuk says he is descended from. This is more popular because, you know, people believe in it. Politics and all that.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the Watcher.
Okay.
I'm not really praying or anything like that. I'm just kind of sitting in the aisles, just like
Sitting there.
self-reflection.
All right. Well, as you sit there for a while, you kind of feel like a tap on the back of your shoulder.
Ah, yes. What was his name? Tar. I wrote it down, didn't I? The elf that was following me.
Oh, I should have written this down myself. Teletos.
Teletos. I say Teletos and look behind.
You see, it is not Teletos. You see, it is a monk from this very church. And he says, "Oh no, it's Brother Gregorian."
How can I help you?
Well, you were there the other night. Well, I guess 2 weeks ago. But you were there the other night with Boniface and those dwarves, right? When that mother character showed up.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, well, you would have to know where Boniface has gone to. He kind of walked out with a few dwarves a couple weeks ago and never came back.
Boniface is on. What do you guys call it? A mission, if you will.
Oh,
It's more of a sudden thing than anything. There's been some personal issues that he's had to sort out, and but he should be back in a little while.
well, alright, well, I mean, next time you see him, do you think you can let him know that somebody's looking for him?
Yeah, I guess this would be falsehood, but I'm gonna leave it up to you after I say it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know when the next time I will see him, but if I see him before he somehow manages to make his way back here, I can give him a message.
Alright, just let him know that, what did he call himself? The Lord of Pottery, Uriel Cobalt, has been looking for him. You just passed the
Is that a
message.
coincidence, or is that
Hmm.
because I was saying Uriel earlier?
Oh no, this name's been in rotation.
Holy shit!
Some of the Uriel Cobalt, the Lord of Pottery is looking for him.
Can I ask for what matter?
He didn't really tell us. He just said he wanted to speak to Boniface personally. Sleepyhead.
Yeah, sure. If I, by some strange chance, see him before he gets back here, I will let him know.
Alright, well, thanks, and, well, yeah. And he just awkwardly turns around and walks back down the aisles.
Go back to quiet contemplation.
Alright, you sit there quietly for another few minutes before you feel a presence kind of sit down next to you. You open your eyes and look over.
I already forgot the name.
Teletos?
Tell it.
It's not no. You see Teletos sitting there beside you. He's not looking at you. He's kind of like looking off, and like to the head where like a statue of what people presume to be Watcher sits. He's be like looking at it, and he says without looking at you, "Worshipping human gods now, are we, Lucius?"
No, it's just a quiet place.
Hmm.
About time you caught up.
Yes, you can be quite fast when you wish to break rules, I suppose.
Well, as you said yourself, being a guard comes first to you. And as I told you, I can't trust you.
I told the guards that I was mistaken, and that you are not under any suspicion. I did tell Our Lady about what's happened, though, so you might want to think about seeing her at some point. She's very concerned about your well-being, as she should be.
I see.
I'm not against you, Lucius. I simply wish to not see my fellow brothers meddling in things that might well cost their lives and the lives of the rest of our song swords. Making deals with dwarves does not end well. You're going to be pulling in more people than you think. You're going to be risking more people than you think.
What if what I said, what if I said what I do is solely for the benefit of us?
He looks at you this time.
I guess we're technically a nation.
You're the
Like
elves.
all of the elves, humans.
You're
everyone.
more like an order right now. I mean, like a nation of the kingdom itself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be like a nation.
It's the best for our nation.
Lucius. Teletos looks at you this time, and you can see, like, the halos in his eyes. He stares at you, and he says, "But is it the best for our order? Is it the best for the elves?"
If it keeps us all alive, I should think so.
Then I will not question further your methods, Lucius, but I will have to keep an eye on you as I've been commanded.
Well, of course.
But let us not speak more of this. He turns back to looking at the statue, and we
I'm
will,
gonna write his name down under relationships.
all right.
Tell it to him.
We will pause that there. Please. Yes, I win. Like we did before, first up is your antecedent. Are you still going with, you wanted to have screams, but you also want to have the flesh of a tortured soul? Do you still want someone
I was
to...
just tortured. Someone will have to rip some of my flesh off.
Do you wish that to happen to you?
Should we let Lucius do it?
Hey,
Or are they
Lucius.
gonna even like allow
No,
him to
after his antics, they don't allow
They don't
Lucius
want him
back in the
around.
room with you. You'll be having some dwarven surgeons
Oh yeah, that's
doing
right.
it.
I think they're kind of worried for my health.
Yeah, that one dwarf was pretty freaked out by his actions, so the dwarves aren't letting him back in to see you.
Lucius is like counter testifying. The guy's lying. He was the one who was doing all that weird shit.
But so you still want to? Do you want to still just work with the torture screams, or do you want a backup in case this antecedent fucks up?
No, man, we're mixing them together.
Mix them together.
Yeah, strong. Why would you just have lemon or lime when you can have lemon lime?
Sure, you don't want just a backup in case your screams don't work out? Because then if they don't work out, and
Fine, rip my ass fat off.
basically gonna have to do a Kaherji roll to do this without doing harm to you.
Oh no, when you're ripping off flesh, it's pretty.
But they're gonna try to use like painkillers and quickly bandage you back up. So this is gonna be high intense action.
You know, I mean, Boniface is pretty committed to this.
It is. I'm gonna have to do a little better than this. No.
Fucked up. You fucked up, son.
They do remove flesh from your arm, but it still leaves a
A scar.
yeah. It's basically it's gonna leave a scar, and you have to make a health test. Obstacle 4 with no helping dice to see how you take it. 2 6s.
A 4.
Wait, 6
Is it
health.
automatic?
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's an automatic. You just spend a fate point. You can't have a gray shaded health.
You know, like I said before, what's the point of holding on to fate? You give them so much that, like,
Yeah. What's the point of like not spending it?
yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, to hoard it is just kind of silly in my opinion. All right, so I got 3, then I rolled another 6, and then okay, so I had a 4 and 2 6s. Then I rolled again and got a 4 and a 6. And I rolled a 6 again and got nothing.
All right then.
So how much is that?
That sounds like
5.
5 at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, the flesh ripped. They bandage it back up, and it's gonna leave a nasty scar on your arm. But
I'm just.
you're
like,
gonna.
Just like. Oh yeah. I don't even feel it.
It's like it was ripped off of like this part of your flesh, so it's gonna leave like a nice pale scar in your arm. But you're gonna be okay.
When I was open, I'm just like, yeah, like.
You've got a few scars on your body already, but don't forget to also take a routine test. I don't know if those matter at this point though.
New trait, heavily scarred, so scarred it's scary.
Yeah, you have taken. I don't remember which wounds you failed health tests on, but those basically be getting scars, like your arm, because they failed a Kaherji test. Anyways, so you have.
What happened if I failed that health test?
If you failed it, you would have to actually have some recovery time.
No.
Passing him just saying that you get over it pretty quickly enough to not waste any time.
Oh my god. Oh, you just had that flesh ripped off your arm. Oh, that's no
Yeah.
big deal, man.
Yeah, a combination of your already resounded willpower and their techniques. Your arm hurts, but it doesn't keep you from working. Okay, so first is using the antecedent. Okay, we already have the traits you're looking for. You don't have to try and identify anything because you specifically wanted tortured stuff. So, extracting it. Let's see. Some creatures have certain traits as part of the body and soul. These describe the common traits listed for each character stock.
And this is where I use alchemy, right?
Yeah. Also, traits we use is equal to the point cost of the trait. So we're looking for some sort of torture trait. Let me Alright, so right now, in case I don't know how much we missed, but Boniface is beginning to enchant a staff made for Lucius. So far, he has it called the Demon's Finger, and it's going to confer a 3d2 torture tests. And continue.
Alright, Well, I'm trying to kind of even the dice out, so I don't make it too hard or too easy. I'm just
Mhm.
wondering, like what is a difficult test compared to, like, what if it was one under my dice?
What's you don't like if it's one under?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on how many dice you're rolling.
Well, pause it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So 4 and 5, and then I'm gonna choose it last until. It lasts until it's used to draw blood.
It's last until it's used to draw blood.
Yeah, which is a specific deal.
So that gives you a dice or gives it an obstacle?
I think it gives me +2 dice instead.
Specific physical condition? Yep. Lasts until it draws blood. It's to torture. Okay. Next up is external duration. So, wait, no, we don't have to worry about that though. It just gives you an advantage. The trigger. Pick your trigger right here.
Touching bear. Touching a bear, exactly.
By touching the bear.
Yeah.
It's a +1 obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find it. Must touch the bearer to activate. Oh yeah, do you want to give it a rechargeability
Yeah.
by making it a +1 obstacle?
Mm.
Right? You must detail how it's recharged. This process must either require a test of an appropriate ability, a quest for some rare thing, or a change of ownership. How do you wish it to be charged?
What was the first one again?
A test for an appropriate ability.
Test of an appropriate ability.
Okay, I'm going on a quest.
Like, I don't know what kind of quest that would be. Like,
I mean, it's pretty open-ended what kind of, like, items
could
and,
the quest
like,
be, like, really
ingredients.
simple,
It could be
or-
something for a rare ingredient, or it has to be a quest for some rare things. Like a rare ingredient, you can make it off the top of your head and we'll make it a thing in the game.
but like, it's such a simple item that it's almost like
They're like, I don't want to go through the
quest
effort.
for, yeah. I have to say, he has to make a, can I add like a stipulation, like he has to make a, nah, because that's too, like, he must, can I just say make a doctrine test, like he has to read from holy books, oh, like, for it to recharge?
Make a doctrine test.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Alright, recharge by making a doctrine test.
A successful doctrine test.
Alright.
I guess I'll leave that to you.
Yeah. A successful one.
Yeah. I just like throw him like a heavy holy book. Read this.
Read. First he has to learn how to read. At least human words. He can read Elven. Okay, so this is what we're going off of. You have to beat obstacle 6 with your 7 dice. And it will be a 7 difficult test for enchanting.
Alright.
Your obstacle is 6.
There you go.
Do you wish to spend any persona point before you make this roll? They won't like change your test at all.
I only have one fate point, so that'll be
Maybe roll some 6s.
maybe.
Maybe not.
Well, how fucked is it?
2 successes, huh, Matt?
Yep.
You're giving me 2 successes with this shit.
I'm giving you 2 successes with this shit.
At least you got a test.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright,
Aha. There's
once
4,
again.
What do I need to go from 4 to 5?
4 to 5? What do you got so far?
4 routines and 1 difficult.
4 to 5. You need 4 routines and either 2 difficult or 1 challenging.
Damn it.
So close. Alright, I'm gonna roll again to see what happens to this thing. Because I don't like it just not working. I want it to make it interesting. Okay. Ha!
Perversion.
Perversion again.
Ha ha ha. This is gonna be interesting. It can't be used to torture. It must be used to cuddle.
Yeah, it has to be. It's something twisted. It's the opposite of the intention, but I can make that as interesting as I like it to be.
Well, I'll leave you to that, and that, I guess that is
I guess,
my...
yeah, and I'll also have to roll and see how well this guy carves his thing. He's going to have helpers, so he's going to have 2 helping dice to his already.
It's only the view how like fucked up my enchantments are.
Well, only 2 of them.
Yeah, well, we'll just keep that quiet once we figure out like they're all wrong. Oh man, look at.
Hey, good news.
See, it should have been more like this. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna enchant this staff. I'm gonna observe him carving that and get stick carving wise. Oh my!
What? Why do you do this? We're gonna have to give you a one trait's gonna be for your hardiness, one's gonna be for your worldliness, I guess.
My neck to just like pick up random
Fuck.
abilities.